My wife actually makes her own spices and everything, and does a great butter chicken. So you know,
can't go wrong with
yeah,
butter.
you cannot. You could go wrong, but
Well,
it is the generic
I
South
shouldn't say
Asian
that.
dish that's
yeah.
like, you know, everybody seems to always want to order butter chicken. But there's been, yeah, you're right. It's one of the one. It's kind of hard to screw up.
If you go to a place that makes a bad butter chicken, it tells you something about the place.
Do
like,
not.
There's certain things where like, okay, if you're not doing this right, then I'm not eating it. I'm not eating there. I just saw a headline from
down with that thought.
Mark Zuckerberg says Instagram has grown to 3 billion monthly active users.
Remember what I said, every time someone is born, a new Instagram customer has emerged. So is someone, oh, there's another customer right now, actually.
Right there.
So, oh, there's a couple more. Just
4 more, actually.
So.
Guess where it bounced, guess where it just bounced?
Off of the $3 billion mark?
Oh, no, it just the stock.
Yeah, I know.
Ye old 50-period moving average.
Yeah, we love.
Go figure.
We love
yesterday's low.
Insta is 2.9 million bots. Yeah, exactly. So every time someone's born, you get 2 accounts opening up. You get a bot. But I think, first of all,
2.9.
I have 10,000 followers on Instagram. You guys are hitting me up. You're messaging this or that. It's nowhere near the litter that's on X. So, like, honestly,
the bots
Elon,
on X are crazy.
Smarten the hell up.
It's crazy.
Figure that out, because when he came in, part of X was supposed to be getting rid of a lot of these bots. I mean, I'll just go to any of my posts. It doesn't matter. Like, they're just literally all over the place. And please don't follow any of these guys, right? I mean, it just, sometimes they'll come up and they'll pretend like they're me and this and that. Look, here's Emily here, obviously fake, talking about going to go follow. Come on, Emily, going to go follow this. See how many. Here's Randy. Okay, this is Randy Mills. Yes, I am feeling major pullback. Here's Stock Cameron. Bot. So, you know, it's like, obviously more bots than I even have reasonable messages back at me. So that's why sometimes it is tough for me to respond to everybody on Twitter. So if you do send me something, the best way to do it is probably via DM. So at least I can see it, and we'll do that. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but that's what's going on Instagram. So, all right, man, great trading today. Neil, we will be back at 2 p.m. So until then, thanks from
11:03.
Yeah, I know. It's 11:03. It's okay. It's all good. I twisted my knee yesterday, so I'm not going to be going to the gym. I'm going to go for a little bit of a walk around. So I will see all of you out in the hopefully bright. Let me see what my phone is saying. Okay, it's showing cloudy. So okay, I will see our people outside. We outside in a couple minutes. So I'll see you guys there. All right. Good day today.
Too much rain yesterday. Good day today. It always be easy with the knee, man. If you feel sore, you shouldn't. You know, whatever. You know.
Ooh.
There it is. Although you can still swim when you have knee pain.
Yo, is that Jake Paul fight this weekend? That's going to be hilarious, man.
No, it's not.
The guy's going to squish that guy into the ground. What's his name? Gervonta something?
Is it? That's not this weekend.
It's next weekend, or what weekend is it? November. Oh, shoot.
That's not till November.
What was in the after? There was something in our... Oh, this is what it was. Yep. Neil called Ronaldo from Brazil, R9, right?
R9.
The greatest at his peak.
At his peak.
The great... Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just wanted to know. Let's get Sharif's opinion when we go over there so that we can transfer over. That's all. Just, no, not trouble. Everyone's opinion. The chat was all over Ronaldo and Messi, the other Ronaldo. So, I wanted to get Sharif's opinion.
R9, baby.
Because we clearly don't know enough about football as much as these dudes do. So, let's go over to Sharif and see who he thinks is the greatest footballer at their peak of all time.
Number 14 for Arsenal. Thierry Henry. No, I'm playing.
Crazy.
It's gonna be our, it's gonna be R7 or
Ronaldinho.
Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the midday show. That right there is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And it's been an interesting day. It's humid AF outside. You can't even walk without sweating up a storm. Ooh. That displeases me greatly. But shout out to Tammy and Ed. T, what's up? We got Bax, we got Buffalo Soldier's son, Kenya Flowers, and Ronaldo Kalua, Suresh and Pan. Shout out to Fiddleback and Chris Arthur, Kai Wan Lu, Yannick the OG, Ja, L, Press, Anish, We also got Yummy Thai Foods and Miko, dollar bill, yo, a dollar bill. Shout out to DJ, get it, Adara.
Right.
Tina Patel, so do I.
Yeah.
Roadrunner, Byron Hart, we got Mew Life, we got Junk Food Kids. Nah, don't do that to them, bro.
No,
That's
don't
crazy.
Don't do that.
Mark Perkins, Andrew Sandoval. We got Death God. Oh, boy.
No.
Big 40 Nephew, Trader Forever, LSTDZ. Who else? Byron Hall and Echo Max. Shout out to Donkey Trader and Omar. Mike P. D. Ryder. And we got K-Dub.
Surfboard P.
Shout out to Jerry Garcia as well.
Yeah,
Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Joey, let's just do it live right now and tell everybody what we're involved in. I'm involved in 2 small cap gappers, one not really a small cap gapper, but trading like one. LAC. We're taking some longs to the high side over here. We're long at 95s. It's at 95s. I've been scalping into the 6s. Let's see how this one holds out. It's generally holding the 10 EMA, but it does look like it might be losing support here at that $6 area. Keeping my eye on it. VWAP 570 on Lithium America. We're also involved in DBGI. We're long at 611, excuse me. Scalped up all the way into 45. That 50 print, though, going unfilled, waiting on the north side of 52. Let's see if this one can get filled. I got to tell you, DBGI displeases me because of the spread. I've seen it very wide at times, but here it goes, closing back up. We're popping in the 30s. Go DBGI, go. Let's see if we can get into that 682 area. And then last but not least, I have a bunch of different small cap gappers all on the side chart. SLNH, really the one I want to talk about, as well as CLPT. We're going to get to those in a second as soon as we see what your boy Joey Option has been looking at. Good morning, brother.
Good morning. I had to say yes. I would love to have your good old information in my mailbox. Anyways, all right, guys, what do we got? No, Juggernaut, man. It's not Joey Shivers today. Nice signal there on ETH. A going to the downside. Enough of that. We traded a little bit of that this morning, and we went heavy. It took a decent loss on that, but now starting to come back in. There's Tesla, boom. We take a little move to the downside, and then we get out break even as it continues to just climb higher. And I said, if this signal gets blown past and we come back and retest that, we're going to get out of that one. And then MU, we are also trading some MU this morning as well too. Let's see what we got cooking up on there. So we got this one up from 162.5s, and then we take that about 40 cents to the top side, pop, and we get out. It did climb a little bit higher, but we got out of that one, so we won't complain. And then we took a couple stabs on the Ether long. I think I had a feeling that we were going to climb today, but yeah, just timing slightly off. Attempt one, we add a little bit. This one I went full size in, and then we took a full stop out. I was going to give it past a little bit past this low of the day, and then sure enough, look what it is. I'm bottom wick. I'm providing the liquidity as Obi would like to say there on that one. And then also, as for the 1 minute time frames, you can see here, the 5 minute time frame, you can see that we have that nice topping signal. Volume wasn't supporting it, but I'm like, you know what? I better not, just in case the crypto space wants to continue to climb higher. On the 1 minute, we don't have too much. Yeah, there it is. So missed opportunity there, but that's okay. We're not going to get too upset about that one, considering I think that the crypto space is relatively weak right now. Obviously, that being said, the past couple of days selling and underperforming against the Nasdaq, considering that it's made an all-time high on multiple occasions, and the crypto space has not this month whatsoever. So there it goes. Alibaba, not too bad of a look either. Break through the volume weighted average price, sitting on the hands, waiting for prime time.
Prime time. I like it, Joey. Okay. All right, here's what we got on, guys. Shout out to Zion Lala. Once we look at QURE, we already got that up. It feels like it's trading like a buyout, though, brother. I mean, consolidation, rocket up. Bit of a range. Sure, the pre-market has a bit more, dynamism than this latest price action. I'm talking about basically from 10 o'clock onwards. It's been very, very tight range. I mean, 42.71, that is the day high, but for the most part, guys, we've been below 41 for the most part, and then above, I want to say 39 for the most part as well. So a bit of a $2 range on QURE. It's up 192%. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We're definitely going to keep it on there, but just the trading range on it is not what I exactly imagined here. Go ahead, Joey.
Oh, I think are you tapped into you?
I'm not tapped into you.
Right, cool.
I plugged it in, but I didn't load that bad way up.
What are we doing there? Assassino, tell me one more time again. All right, cool. We're going to head over to Adara, but first, Robinhood 128.96.
Dang.
Let's go, Adara.
Yeah, let's talk here about Microsoft. MSFT reportedly working here with OpenAI rival Anthropic on Copilot AI. So again, Microsoft and OpenAI, their partnership has been a little bit on the fritz. There's been a lot of speculation there, continuing to team up with other companies, both of them. Now Microsoft again stepping up here, reportedly partnering with Anthropic, an OpenAI rival, on this AI Copilot. Back to you.
Katina, man, you're killing me today, brother. Katina, man, is making me laugh, and we're both kind of sick, so every time we laugh, we're both coughing a little bit. Sorry, Joey.
Yeah, I know. I'm just surrounded by it. It's crazy.
The cost of doing business, baby. I know, right? All right, so here's what we got. So let's bring this back, Joey.
Take a day off?
I'm trying to give you some.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
All right, so I see DBGI is on the way to the $0.50 there. Let's see if it can print above the $0.50. I've got my order north of the $0.50, showing me 50s right now. We'll let that one cook. So I've talked about QURE and the sort of range trade setup that it's going through right now. I'm not really sure what's up with it, but we're going to keep it on the side chart because it is up a respectable amount. SLNH has been a multiple day runner, and this is the 5-minute. As you can see, it had a fantastic day on Monday. A decent day yesterday, kind of gave back everything. It kind of popped up at 8 a.m., then gave back everything. Today, we're trying to kind of put in higher highs and higher lows, right into 269. That's a high a day. That doesn't even take us into Monday's high. Monday's high goes into 290, albeit an aftermarket high. Yesterday's pre-market high takes us almost into 360. So, you know, SLNH, all right, but it's not my favorite. CDLX, I'm 0 for 1 on. It lost VWAP, so I'm going to let that one go. NAK, I like at $1.08. That's top right of your screen. And then CLPT is just, it feels like a buy program, either off the 20 at the deepest, retracement, or the 10. It feels like maybe that $19 area might be a bit of a local resistance because we really haven't been making explosive higher moves there, but we're going to keep tabs on those. So currently I'm involved in a couple of trades, as I mentioned, DBGI, and here it comes again to 50, and here we're watching again as the 50 penny seller steps in again, and they've been stepping in every single time since I've been long. Back into 49s we go. So let's see if we can shake this $0.50 seller. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah.
He got taken out, Joey.
Oh no! Oh yeah!
All right, so we're doing it live on this one. Let's see if we can trend up a little bit more. We're long 11s. It's showing me 55s. My next profit taker's at 63. Here we go. 58's now showing up. Let's pack her patience. So now almost at 60. Okay, here's 60, Joey. Can we get it? Oh no! 69. Okay, now we got to set up at 77s. Let's stay calm over here. Thank you, Fabian. Showing 75s. Let's go, DBGI. Let's take out 77s, Mr. DBGI. We're going to pack our patience as this one zigs and zags in that $0.75 range. Going back over here to the other one, LAC. Look, I'm going to defend this in the VWAP. I'm taking small entries on every successive dip. I like LAC in the VWAP. I think it holds support at the volume weighted average price. If it doesn't, I'll take the L on it. Simple as that, okay? So we're in here at 95s. It's showing me 87s. I've got another dollar cost average planned, DCA 82, but I'm planning on DCAing into 70s. 570, that's where the volume weighted average price currently is on LAC. Let's see if this one's got the juice to maybe take out 100%. It's up 91.86, and I personally, you know, I'm more of a laissez-faire guy, so I don't necessarily like the government taking ownership of private industry and having voting rights and, you know, influence and all that. But as a trader, I like it because, quite frankly, the market likes it. So whatever the market likes to the high side, so do I. But if you just ask my personal opinion, I ain't a fan. But yeah, we'll focus on that, Joey, and then we'll focus on the next DBGI out. I've got it up here at 77.
All right, good look there, my friend. There goes the TQs, putting in a new low of the day, SPY breaking lower. Maybe I'll just hop out of this one unscathed. Just because
Katina Man's printing on that.
Yeah, he's short too. I don't like going against the Katina Man. So we're looking for that support level to hold, bounce in. But as you can see, the SPY has put in a new low there. So maybe we'll just hop out of that one flat, just to be like, yeah, you know what? If it's going to put in a new low, we'll look to get in at a different price, or it's just going to be an all-day fader. So shout out to them. Oh man, I have that Teenage Dirtbag song stuck in my head Like there's no other. It's like, oh yeah.
What?
They're back. Yeah.
Tell him what he said. Yeah.
Fabian loves the fact that the singer is singing both parts of it, and it's two females in the band. So yeah, he loves that.
Get it, Fabian.
Yeah, way to go. Let's rock and roll. They're back.
And thank you for fixing my headpiece, Fabian, because now I can hear you perfectly.
Bang! There he goes. Bang. Ooh, okay, all right. I don't know who this stock thinks it is, but it's absolutely phenomenal, right? Like there goes Robinhood putting in a new all-time high, up 330% off of those April lows. This thing is absolutely monstrous. I'm glad that we're still sitting in it. I did trim a little bit there, but hey, we got to lock those profits in and see what we got cooking up there. We're going to be patient sitting in this TQs. I like that for a potential rebound as well. I sold an Ether contract just because. Only one though. I'm still sitting on some, a couple hundred shares as well. And then also I'm still sitting on my Bitcoin contracts. I just have a little bit more faith within the Bitcoin, but I'll still sit in those one Ether contract there, just for, and then we'll get our beaks a little bit, not wet, but we'll dabble a little bit more, get our toes wet there.
Easy.
There it is. We're holding that base 101.85. Let's see if we can get a bounce back into the volume weighted average price. That's going to be primary target if we can even possibly squeeze back up to there. But you can see downtrend still fully intact. You have the test of the level, inability to break it, and then you make an additional leg lower. We get a 5-minute print opening up below this range, 101.85. Then we're at a dodge, and we'll let Katina Man. I'll provide Katina Man with a little liquidity there, nothing substantial. But yeah, let's see what else we got cooking up, guys. We'll go over the top. We'll go over the top performing sectors of the day. Let's get this off there. Get that garbage out of here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go.
Sorry, TNFA is breaking out. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to interrupt. But Joey, it just reclaimed VWAP, and it's on the warpath to the high side. TNFA, I don't even have it on my side chart, so we're going to have to throw that on there. 60% above 5.5. Now knocking the door 5 3/4. Now actually dealing with 5 2/3. The pre-market high, this is the only thing that displeases me. And it's only a 925 pre-market high. It's not like a 7 a.m., so it's like right on the door of the open. So this candle over here, 925, as I mentioned, 643 high, official high of day, 619. So I generally have a rule that I won't trade a small cap gapper until it's cleared that pre-market high. Usually I'm not having to make exceptions for 925 versus 930 prints, but in this case I may. This thing is strong. Here comes 580. It's really going. It's about to take out 6. Here's the information on it. It is a float of 1.86 million shares, so it's awfully small, and that's good if you're looking for a sort of that parabolic characteristic. With these small cap gappers, the smaller the float, the more demand, if there is demand, for the name on the day, and therefore you have more outsized moves. Now, that can be both a blessing and a curse, because you can find yourself on the wrong end of that move to the downside, especially if you're long. Here comes $6. It's a 619. Technical high of day, but as I've mentioned, the pre-market high is 643. Very, very aggressive volume profile supporting this latest up move. Look at the dearth of volume between the 945 volume candle and then the 1110 volume candle. It almost looks as if, nothing took place during them, but when you hover over, these were doing like 500,000 to about 50,000 shares each. I don't know why the volume dropped off in the way that it did, but the fact is the matter is it did, and now it's doing about 2 million shares per 5-minute candle, at least it has for the last 2. So be careful trading this. Let me just give you some levels before we go to Adara. 520 is the volume weighted average price. This one did halt down. It did halt at about 558. It was a 5-minute halt, so it didn't extend into 10. It then gapped down, lost VWAP, and then basically didn't reclaim VWAP until about 10 minutes ago or so. So trade it carefully. It's rejecting 6 for now, back down into 2/3. I'm going to be watching this, but I unlikely will execute on it until it takes out that pre-market high. Go ahead, Adara.
I just want to take a moment here to remind you guys, we do have X at TTV Research for all of your market-related infographic needs. Costco reports earnings tomorrow after the bell. So we have this brand new infographic about Costco. In case you guys didn't know, it actually traded under a different ticker and as a different company for about 4 years. It was Price Costco with the ticker of PCCW because they merged with a company called Price Club. Lots of other pieces of lore here, including a attempted collaboration at one point with Alibaba. of China. So check this out on X at TTV Research. There may be a hot dog related infographic as well in the future, just given the lore around the hot dog and the hot dog's, I guess, financial impact on Costco, which is pretty interesting. But either way, X at TTV Research, Costco earnings tomorrow. Check this out.
Happy
birthday, brother.
24, baby. Let's go. Mike P.
One of the
Ryder,
nicest guys, the most active guys.
Yeah.
Love his
Surfboard.
attitude,
his
man.
nickname's Surfboard P, man.
Is it?
Yeah,
Hey, there
we got Skateboard P, and then we got Mike P.
Get it,
Ryder
Mike. We're happy for you, brother. Happy birthday, obviously, man. I didn't know. So he's Libra gang.
Yeah, he's on
the border though. He's like
maybe
I like that.
Maybe I shouldn't.
He's like he's not fake Libra like your friend Ram over there, who just
Ram,
is like a Scorpio, but parading, prancing
When's your
around
birthday?
as a Libra.
What day is it? October what? Ha ha. There you go.
Oh, no, she's angry now, Joey. What did I do?
She's all right. Well, I'll let her in the gang for sure. I'll let her.
Neil, it's the day when I don't do something, Neil, is the exception.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mine's the 5th of October, if anyone was ever curious, obviously being slightly sarcastic. Anyways, energy sector, guys, screen please, Assassino and Bang. There we go. Energy sector leading the pack today with up 1.8%. And then we have the consumer discretionary up 3/4, consumer staples up 1/5 there, so holding on to positivity. We'll check out the utilities. It's sitting in 4th place, again up 1/5 as well too. Now as for the bottom 3, we got the tech sector down 4/10. We have the real estate down about 6/10, and then we have the comm service extremely weak today, down 3/4%. What's our good friend Meta been up to today?
What is it up to, man?
It's not doing too much here today, so there it is, Bang. META. I feel like we haven't talked about this name for quite some time, even though I feel we probably are every single day.
The Connect event, we talked about
Connect, we talked about the Connect event. Yes, exactly. And then also let's take a look at goggles, no beer goggles. So there it is, a nice sell-off there in Google. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, this is frothy right here, man. Really, really toppy price action. Like this is the most insane catch-up trade of all time, I think, personally. Even though you're up 75%, look at this parabolic move. And I was in at 164, and then you get that move all the way up to 255. But we got out way, way earlier than that. There goes the TQs, Bang, Shreve. We're gonna take a little bit off the top right there. Well, let's spin it.
Oh! There
it goes, Bang. Quick time, quick as you like. Let's take some off there, ladies and gentlemen, just because you want to lock in those profits. And bang, there goes the diamond right off the lows. Risk profile relatively tight. What do you got?
All right, LAC, finally, you little. Here, it's back above 6. We got 93s on. We just wet the beak at 4. We've got some posted at 7 that have gone unfilled. And then we've also got some 14s. Look, I don't know how I feel. I still feel the downtrend on this one. I still see generally lower highs. If you draw a trend line from that 623 high, we're still putting in lower highs with, some intervening, breaches here and there. But I need to see a move above 610. A move above 610 puts me in a better position. Here's 5s. Now there's a monster seller at 5 in the same way that there was a monster seller at 6. 605 is what I'm talking about, not $5. So there was a monster seller at 6. There was several thousand lots that got chewed through. And then we just saw the latest seller there up at 5s. So I need to be concerned about LAC because there's going to be mean reversion traders who are looking at this thing saying it's up 100%. Short, right? Here we go. We're now taking 7, so let's wet the beak here. There we go. Now we're doing well. 607, we've got 92s on now on LAC, but there's a freaking seller every 2 pennies. What the hell is going on here? I mean, there could be profit taking, obviously, because this thing is up big, and we're around that $6 area, but there seems to be quite a bit of selling at every, 2-3 pennies. So let's see if we can kind of squeeze. I find that 610 area should be, a good area to break through, but it's not a hard and fast rule. Let's go back over to here, my friend DBGI. It's not continuing to the high day, but I don't want to get out here because it's still holding the 10 EMA on the 5. I've got 11s on. That takes me almost down to VWAP, a little bit higher than VWAP. VWAP's at 6. right? So I've got 611, so I'm a little bit higher, but 6.25-ish is where the 10 EMA is. So long as DBGI is trading above the 10 EMA, I'm going to hold it, okay? In fact, if it continues to make newer highs above 682 and pulls back into the 10 EMA, your boy is going to add. So we're going to see what this one does. Back to LAC as we're still watching that 10 seller come in. Okay, DBGI, I got to go back to that because it just lost the 10 EMA and now it's coming down into my level. That's going to be the end of the trade for me on DBGI. We're going to take it out there. If it holds, if it comes into 6 where VWAP is, I'm going to buy it again there. But we're going to get out there for now just to make sure that we hold on to the profitability, take it out there, break even for the last remaining amount. Now I can focus on LAC. That's coming back down into 6. Fantastic. All right, let me bring in the side charts over here and talk about TNFA. I don't mean to take any victory laps. Oh, my system is so perfect. No, it's not. It fails all the time. But this is what I see consistently with the small cap gappers that can't seem to shake that pre-market high. Yeah, this seems to happen a lot where we, get those bag holders, whatever, taking profits and getting out of dodge, or the short sellers are alive, they're wise to that pre-market high. They use it as a sort of a key level off which to get short. But there we go, right back down and losing VWAP as we speak. The 10 EMA on the 5 is $5. It's below VWAP, but the 10 EMA may be operative here. So let's watch TNFA. I think it's got some juice, especially to kind of get above that pre-market high. If this thing gets above 650, TNFA could go. Last but not least, I'm 0 for 1 on CDLX, and that's because it's very wicky. So I tried to pull back into the volume weighted average price on this one and ride it up. It lost VWAP. It ended up holding the 10, and look what it does. It makes a new high. But look at the characteristic of CDLX. I mean, what do you notice right away? Obviously, the wicks. I'm sure you guys would say the wicks, the upper and lower wicks. And so that's part and parcel of trading this. If it's going to do it over and over again, then you need to be ready for it to do it again. And so what do you have to do to kind of work your way around CDLX? Well, your stops have to take account of these wicks, so you're going to be a bit more aggressive with your stop placement. That means risking more, obviously, as well as your beak wetters, your profit takers should be layered, ready to take profit, because it doesn't spend any really discernible amount of time at the higher price levels. It wicks up there and then it's right back down. So use resting orders to take advantage of the wicks up and get printed. That would be my suggestion if you're going to trade CDLX. I mean, it meets all my criteria. I've got nothing back to say other than the wicks. Above VWAP, above the 10 EMA, above the pre-market high. It's got everything, and it's up 23.5%, Joey. So I think I just traded it wrong.
All right, yeah, that's what happens when it's in a blue moon. Sometimes timing's slightly off. All right, guys, we had a good question there. Neil sent me, and I don't know if the individual is still within the chat, but we'll go over it here briefly, real quick. Let's get this back to where we want. All right, so now essentially what this is, right, what we got going on here, guys, this is just one September 29th call expiring on obviously 25th, and then 598 call, and let's go over the Greeks because that's what they were. So essentially what they are, there's just a mathematical measurement in how each specific Greek affects the options contract pricing and in the future price as well too. So we'll go over the basics here. The delta, what's going on here is that at our current delta, it's 0.5. So what does that tell us? So for every $1 move in the direction either to the north side or to the south side, either increasing or decreasing, you're going to see a $50 change in options term, 50 cents, a $50 change within that options contract. So for example, if the options contract is worth $1, it goes from $5.98 to $5.99. That contract is now worth $1.50. Yes, that's correct. Now, if it moves to the south side, that contract is only worth 50 cents. All right, relatively simple. Okay, so now as for your gamma as well too, guys, think about it as your delta's delta. As simplistic as I can possibly put it is that, so we have that $1 change in the underlying asset. It goes from $1 to $1.50. But now your delta has changed to 54 cents. So for the next $1 move, that options contract is going to be worth $2.04, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, as for your Vega, that is going to be your volatility pricing in, and it's usually based on how much it fluctuates from a yearly basis. Now, for your Theta, very, very important. Now, this is 40 cents. Now, what our Theta is time decay. We talk about this all the time, is that you want to buy as much time as possible. And what happens here is, in each day by day, the value of those contracts is going to decrease by 40 cents. So when you have these near dated expiration cycles, the Theta is going to start to accelerate as well too. So there's your crash course on what the Greeks are. We'll hop out of there. I'm all out of the TQs because it came back to my break even. Adair, what do you got?
What I have here is crypto. After a fairly tepid weekend of trading and trading lower yesterday and the day before, Bitcoin trying to bounce a little bit here. And it's interesting too, is actually our low of day on BTC is lower than yesterday's low. So initially we did push to the downside. Now though, bouncing nicely, trading around 113,700. Let's take a look at Ethereum as well. ETH trying to form a bit of a base, but not really as significant as Bitcoin's bounce looks here. I want to talk about some of these miners. RIOT, really strong in the morning, already giving up some of that move. IREN, Iron Energy, this one holding up relatively well. And then Marathon Digital looking a bit closer to RIOT with regards to giving back that move. These have been really strong on the day. I know Riot actually had a positive analyst note from Arete Research. They initiated coverage with the buy rating at a $26 price target. I couldn't find any news on these, but other than that upgrade for Riot, but there was some speculation that certain names in the space, including Riot and BTDR, could benefit from this OpenAI and Oracle deal. We know that some of these names do have the capacity and the potential to get into that AI space. They have the energy for that. So that was kind of along lines of the note I was seeing with RIOT and BTDR potentially benefiting from Oracle and OpenAI. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. But interesting thing to keep an eye on, these miners might not just be for Bitcoin mining. They could also be for other purposes. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adair. Guys, I just want to bring to your attention that there's an email being sent out by Trader TV. It is for my morning watch list, okay? And so basically, I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to get, but basically, I create a research note every morning. It has the story or it has one page dedicated for every story. So you're going to get more of a nuanced explanation about what's happening in the market context, as well as you're going to get technical areas of support and resistance. So this is basically what it looks like. So this is this morning's watch list. Alibaba surges on major AI investment and product launch. At the top, you'll get 3 different areas of support. You'll get 3 different areas of resistance and a trader takeaway. Now, this will kind of give you a look at, you know, the intraday look as well as the swing look and even sort of an investor perspective as well. Some of this information can be digested for that. And it's going to be quite lengthy. I mean, we throw about 10 to 15 stories per morning watch, and it's super simple. It comes in PDF. You can view it easily on your phone or you can view it on the computer, and it's very, very structured. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check your email, and this will get sent to you every single morning. Super simple, guys. And yeah, it helps you kind of organize the day. So yeah, that email, somebody was asking me in the chat. I didn't know it was sent out, but it has been, and I just want to confirm that is us sending it out. That's not spam. So shout out to Brendo for sending that out. And if you're interested, yeah, go ahead and subscribe, guys. Every morning we'll get that out, and it'll come out right with the morning watches, right around 8 a.m.
You have the option to like and subscribe. This trade has unlimited upside. All right.
Oh my God.
Hey, man.
Oh my God.
What's going on over there?
That was good there, Joey.
That'll wake you up.
That was real good there.
That'll
Joey.
wake you up. Yeah, let's try that one more time there.
Yeah. You have the option to like and subscribe.
Still a little loud.
This trade has unlimited upside.
All right, there we go. There it is. Bang.
Wouldn't a Google Drive folder with all the documents be better? That's not exactly how we actually have it here, and that's how we share. So I share my morning note with everybody on the show, and that's exactly how we do it. You know, I just create it on my Google Drive, and I send it out. But it's super easy, guys, because we already have that morning watch list going out to you anyway. So if you're subscribed, just click yes, and you will automatically be subscribed. Just check your email, Joey. What do you got, brother?
Yeah. Who's that? Yeah, I don't know who that is. Just Living. I'm curious as well too. I know Dara was up there, so that's why I was looking so good personally. But yeah, for me, it's just a face. All right, guys. Tesla potential bull flag. I know City's talking about that one. We like that. Glad we got out of this TQ's long. Boom, cracked through the support system. AC slated to that one. It's off to the races to the downside. So do not chase. What we got going on here on Alibaba, man, this name is crazy, and it's funny because we talk about it in a sense like it's so tough to invest in, but then you just look at the daily chart and it's like, do you just put a couple of dollars in there? Maybe it's a chase up here. But yeah, I like what they're doing. Sharif brought you some of the news this morning as well too, just building across the globe really, and just spending a lot of money. So not too bad of a look there. And what I like also is that, I mean, you're at the mercy of the overnight risk, obviously, but when it's in your favor, it's a really, really good time. Now we're going to be keeping an eye out on this 5-minute candle to see if we can catch a potential long off of the volume weighted average price here. If it prints, holds that. One thing to note, Gaurav, is that you can see that we filled the majority of this wick to the downside. So keep that in mind. Once I see 60 to 70% of that wick filled, then I'm going to suspect some more downside for the potential play there. What we got going on is IBIT bull flag here, possibly as well too. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. Haven't traded that. There you go. You got a little pop, but you can see we're starting to form this wedge. A nice bull flag. There it goes, Rusty. Nice pop up there. Let's take a look at the chain. I displayed that this morning as well too. So keep an eye out on that. There is some open interest right around that 66 strike price, which we have around 22,400 contracts. That's going to be the largest on this week's expiration cycle. Maybe once this is lifted, we might have a little bit more free room to climb slightly higher. But there it is, volume 11,400. So that's going to be putting in the most amount of volume on this contract as well too. Let's actually take a look at the profile of this specific contract, so we can get a good idea on what our gamma and everything along those lines is. Let's get on the ask there. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get to the profile and see what this.
What are you trying to get on there, Joey?
The profile.
Oh, I heard something else.
What'd you hear?
I don't know. Ask.
Oh, get on the ask. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, that was lackluster. I'm super frozen now, Sharif. So I'll get you to.
My bad.
Oh no, we're good now. We're back, baby. We're doing it live here.
Doing it live.
Okay, so there it is. Let's take a look at our metrics. So that's going to be delta, which is correct. Currently around $2, $20. So every $1 move, you're going to only get a $20 move and $20 change within that options contract. Now, as for our gamma, that's relatively high, right? Gamma is always going to be at its greatest at the money. As soon as you start to sway from it, it starts to cool down, and that's essentially what a gamma squeeze is, right? So just to kind of take a couple steps back, what you have is a bunch of out the money contracts, and as price starts to accelerate closer to those out of the money contracts and the gamma gets closer to at the money, that's when it really starts to increase and you get those gamma squeezes. And now as for theta, you're losing $11 a day on that specific contract.
That's crazy, $11 a day.
Yeah, brother. That's how it works, man.
Goodness.
And then as you get closer to expiration, boom, it speeds up.
Baby, turn around and let me see that go boom, boom, boom.
Baby, I say, oh yeah.
Joey,
Dirtbag.
look at this hot garbage over here. Look at this.
Did it get you?
Unreal.
Yeah,
this is the one I was complaining about. CDLX into the high of the day, guys. Here we go. 268 high a day. Trade this one carefully, though, as I've mentioned, it's very wicky. But let's bring in another one that we've got on here that I saw people were talking about in the chat, but I didn't mention this to you guys. I mentioned it ever so briefly. It's up nice, 60%. You know, I refer to it as a buy program. It just doesn't seem to have anybody looking to sell here. I mean, it's stair-stepping up in a way that I really haven't seen. There was one moment, really, just one moment in the day, I want to say from 9:10 to 9:30, we're lost the 10 EMA on the 5 just ever so briefly, and then regained it right as we rung the bell. Right at 9:30, got above the 10 EMA, and it hasn't looked back since. Look at this. This is a buy program, and the buy program is clearly using the 10 EMA as, you know, an area where to buy more, because it just keeps defending that area, stair-stepping up. 1965 high, showing me 43s. I haven't looked at the level 2 to see what the time and sale or what the spread looks like, so maybe we should do that right now. But as I come to do that, I want to show you CDLX pulling back in. So the wicks, the wicking nature of CDLX basically maintaining. CLPT is the one that we were talking about earlier. So let's look at the spread on this. So right away, 12 penny spread, displeasing. But, you know, that's going to be kind of the nature of this beast. Why is it doing that? I just don't understand. I need Rob to fix this. Like, why does the Windows taskbar showing up every time?
Yeah, mine's
insane. Anyway, CLPT, guys, I'm going to keep my eye on this one. I think I'm going to wait at 19 because if I'm waxing poetic about this one finding support every single time at the 10 EMA, I'm going to wait at the 10 EMA. So it's currently showing me 19s, but I'm going to wait a little bit ahead. I'm going to go 1911 just to front run the size, especially because the 10 EMA on the 5 is dynamic. It's constantly moving as the price action evolves. So maybe by the time this one makes it down, we get a 1911. So let's go ahead here. We're going to start small share size, and we're going to wait at 11s to see if we can get that print. Show me 45s. We're going to pause for a second. Adara's got news.
Keep an eye. I have Tesla up here. You can look at any of these automakers, though, specifically ones that are going to sell or I guess produce even in the EU. There is a filing that's showing that the U.S. will be, I guess, putting retroactive auto tariffs on the EU. So EU autos and auto parts will face 15% tariffs retroactive to August 1st. So for, I guess, the roughly 2-month period, there will be EU auto and auto parts retroactive tariffs. That is via a filing. And again, U.S. tariffing EU auto parts retroactively. August 1st is when the tariffs are supposed to start anyway. If I get more details on this, I'll let you know. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Alex, for the $20 super chat. ABAT. The people need to know about ABAT. All right, Alex. We're gonna do what you need. We're going to show the people ABAT. Let's go ahead and show people. By the way, QURE is breaking out. So shout out to the OG Zion Lala because I was pegging this one as a range, but clearly I was wrong. It's knocking the door $44. This thing's up 220%. QURE is the one I'm talking about, guys, breaking out bigly. But let's show them ABAT.
Okay.
ABAT. Oh, this is a good-looking name over here, Joey.
American Battery
Is this one of ours? Yeah, American Battery Technology. $588 million market cap with about 11.2 million shares traded today. The float on this monster, 86 million shares. So it's not a small cap, not a small float, a small cap gapper though. And here's the deal. Nothing from it today, but it did file an 8K yesterday. I didn't obviously have an opportunity to look at that, just looking to see if it has anything to do with the LAC breakout, probably because they were batteries and batteries have lithium. So probably something to do with that. Anyway, it's got some, pardon me? Don't go to Adara? Okay. All right. $5 level over here seems to be a bit of an annoyance and has been locally. But look, I mean, the higher lows are what's operative here, Alex. I like the look. Thank you for pointing this out. It's not the biggest percentage winner on the day, but a very respectable one at that, 21%. We're going to have to put QURE and ABAT on the side charts. And quite frankly, I'm running out of room. So, NAC, you're out, bro. ABAT's taking its place. And I had a WWR over here as possibly a flat top breakout through 108, WWR. But sorry, WWR, we're going to have to put QUR. I don't know. QURE is like 20, it's like 43 bucks. I'm unlikely to trade that. I'm going to keep WWR. But this one, Joey,
yes,
ABAT, shout out to Alex for calling this one out. This is a good looker and could get more aggressive if we get and stay above $5, up 21%. Joseph Wilson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys, let's take a look at some things. We got our eyes on Bitcoin here. We're going to post up around that 64.54 level to see if we can get in at the lower end of the range. I do like this pennant that we're starting to slightly form on the 5-minute time frame. If it wants to take that additional leg higher, if not, then we'll get that break risk profile really tight. That is if we get the fill, that is. And then sure enough, once it cracks lower, then you just get out, and then it would probably be that next step to the downside. But if it wants to go through this resistance zone, we want to see some volume and the velocity really start to pick up there. So keep that in mind. Tesla, same thing, right? Like it's moving completely against the overall market today. So that's not a horrible look. There it is, Gorev. I think this is the pullback. Actually, no, yeah, I'm doing this, Gorev. I like what you pointed out there earlier in the session, is that this 5-minute hammer candle on Amazon. Really, really tight stop that you can put onto this one. You only got to risk, it's a little bit more. So you got to go $1 to be safe. So let's get involved in some Amazon off of those lows, hammer candle volume supporting it. We like that. And we don't trade it that often. I know that used to be an OB's favorite. So there it is. We'll give it, only 45 cents or so we'll have to give that. So let's get involved in this on this pullback, just in case we do want to get that pop back towards the volume weighted average price. That's what we are going to look for. And then there goes IBIT through some of the key resistance zones. So nice bull flag pennant being formed there. With that being said, let's take a look at some of our other names and see what we got going on from a volume standpoint and see what the scanners is cooking up. Guys, hopefully you guys are running these in the morning. That's how a lot of the names are found. Sharif has his criteria. Everybody, Katina Man goes through his sticky note process. Neil as well too. So this helps you just kind of phase out a lot of names that are particularly that are going to meet your trading criteria.
Sorry, Joey.
Yeah.
Can you just continue for a sec? Because Neil's going to help me increase.
Yeah. Whatever you need, brother. Yeah, I didn't know what you guys were doing over there. So there it is. Rigetti is extremely strong. I can go on all day if we need to, but I'm sure you guys would eventually get sick of me. Now, as for Q or Baba, there you go. But what are you guys doing over there? I'm curious to know now.
Brother, that's amazing.
Now, as for QuantumScape, this is the daily, so you get this big time breakout. Boom, and then now you're starting to come back in. So you do fail at that previous all-time high test and start to come back in a little bit. But this is a really nice run. You go up 100% from that $7 level, a little bit less there. But we'll take that 90%. We'll take that all day, every day, without any question. Now we just need this little bounce here in the Zonio.
What'd you do, Joey?
I didn't even hit that. Who hit that?
That's cap.
Brother, I'm sitting here talking. No cap around here. That's what my the little brothers say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, cap.
No cap around here?
Cap. Say less.
He's got all the things.
Yeah, they're all.
Does he say Riz?
No, I don't think they're that.
Does it say Riz?
No, they don't. They're not that young.
Okay.
But yeah, they have some of the lingo that these kids have.
Does he say aura farming and stuff like that?
No. They're not that. I think they aura farmers are.
Bro, those are the only like Gen Alpha things that I know, right? And my niece and nephew are not even Gen Alpha. Like they're Gen Z, Z or whatever, right?
Do you aura farm at the gym or no?
I don't aura farm, bro.
It's just natural. It just comes natural.
Let's tell this guy nothing. All right, Assassino, let's show everybody the screen over here because people were hot complaining about this. So I'm going to remove volume weighted average price, and you're just going to see that at the top. So how do we get rid of that crap VWAP over there? We're going to have to figure that out. But yeah, that's going to be the new look there. You guys were complaining a lot. It's so legible, I know. Should I remove it, Fabian? Because we can't make it that easy for everybody. I know, brother. I know. I get the complaints all the time as well. So we're doing it live for you guys right there. So there it is, guys. It's going to be that big. DBGI up 42%. And how much it's up on the day. We're going to remove that volume weighted average price band look there in a second as soon as I just get the opportunity to do it. But there it is. We're going to keep that. Yeah, okay, good. It is live, my man. Marcos Morales, of course it's live, my man. Just take a look at the time and sales on the left there. You'll know exactly what time it is.
Did he ask
on
us
my
if it was live?
Yeah, well, I think he's probably just joking because we say we're doing it live all the time. Oh no, Joey! We've taken out more levels here on LAC, and we are now 1 penny off the freaking high of day. 23 showing up. 24s now. There's a seller at 24. Can we shake them? That's where we're waiting. We're waiting at 24. And now we're going to wait a little bit higher as well because we still got shares on. So we're going to go ahead and wait at 33s. This taskbar on Windows is going to be the death of me, bro. All right, we got the fill at 24s. That is the new high of day now. Let's go, LAC. We're up 103%. I was thinking this one might mean revert. I was wrong. At least not mean reverting yet. So we're waiting at the third of a dollar now. Shake the seller, says Ozan. He got shaken, baby. You know, I could use other words as well. But we're going to keep it PG. For everybody there in the chat. So we're watching right now as that seller steps in at 24. Can't shake that seller right now at 24. Let's pack our patience though. What else we got over here? I'm still waiting for a dip trade on ABAT. That one hasn't come in. I'm looking for an entry on that one. While we wait for that, let me go back and show you a new high a day on LAC. It's 630. We're waiting at 33s, and we're going to calm down a little bit, and we're going to send it to a dare.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's not calm here, Sharif, is Live Nation to the downside. It's not aggressive here by any means, but as you can see, big drop relative volume increase. Only about 400,000 shares traded on the day, but I am seeing reports here, things circulating around on X, suggesting that Ticketmaster was breached. Of course, Live Nation, responsible for Ticketmaster, LYV to the downside. Now, it's also worth noting, I have a little bit more details on EU and US trade. Looks like the Trade Representative and Commerce Department have this notice listing details with regards to EU and US trade. Apparently, pharmaceuticals and aircraft parts are amongst the items exempted from the 15% reciprocal tariff. So pharmaceuticals and aircraft and aircraft parts, those are going to be exempt from the 15% retroactive tariffs. Back to you.
All right, Joey, what do you got, brother? I try to find VWAP over here, get rid of that.
Here, I'll show you right there. Display indicators right on the left-hand column there.
Where?
You see right on the top. Yeah, there you go. Bang. And then bang.
And then display.
And there you go.
Apply, okay.
And it's live. And it's live.
It's not doing it.
Oh, it's not doing it? Okay, anyways, can't believe I trimmed some of the 130 top on hood, the volume drop. I mean, Gorev, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Like, are you saying it as a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, oh, there you go. Yeah, it's a great thing, right? As the market comes right back in. I think that's a fantastic trade. This is absolutely phenomenal, man. You've just been absolutely killing it and finding some absolute bangers of trades. You get out right at 130. Let's actually pull up the options chain to see what we got going on with that. Bitcoin starting to come back in, and see if there's any form of a call wall or anything along those lines right at that specific strike price. So that's going to be 130 on Robinhood, and we're going to pull that up real quick. There it is. Bang. Gorev, this is the beauty of the chain, right? 130. Look at the open interest. Look at the volume being put in. That's the largest size that we're seeing on this week's expiration cycle. That is on the call side, right? So even here, you got the open interest, but no volume. You have the open interest, but no volume. You have the open interest. You have the volume right at 130, and then that's why you're starting to see a little bit of a slight rejection right there. So that's what we got going on. Amazon not doing too much. I'm glad that I took this bid off there on IBIT because it's just absolutely tanking right now. So yeah, with that being said, what's Ethereum up to? Probably getting hit harder. Glad we took that contract off. Beautiful signal on this one. The space is selling extremely, extremely heavy right now. Beautiful signal right there, starting to accelerate to the downside. So it's unfortunate that it couldn't be sustained. I thought this was going to be a chance that we could start to fill a little bit of the gap, but it seems like it's going to take a little bit longer than what we are expecting. We're still holding up in Amazon, which is beautiful. Support levels coming in exactly how we would like to. We're not in it right at the lower end of the range, but we still only have to risk about 50 cents, especially in this name. I don't think that's too bad of a thing. I'm going to actually remove the crypto charts off of my platform here, just because it's just really starting to hurt my eyes, Sharif.
All right, brother, no worries. All right, I'm having mixed success here, removing some of the titles and some of the others. We'll pack our patience. But guys, DBGI is continuing to go here. It's back up into 6.5. It doesn't have the same parabolic effect that it had prior, but we're going to keep an eye out on this one. It's also quite spready. Now, new trade alert. We're in ABAT. We just got in. This is one of the first times it's actually lost the 10 EMA in a little bit of time. It usually finds support at the 20. I'm talking about that 11:10 a.m. candle. We've got 93s, showing me 94s. Let's see how. Let's see if we find support. So the 20 EMA is at 490. So if it holds up there, fantastic. We're going to keep an eye out on that. And in addition to being the 20 EMA where it's found support before, I find 490 to be a good area of technical resistance. Look how many times we rejected $4.90 before clearing it eventually over here at 1045. And then actually using it as support. So here we go, coming into that 490 again. Let's see if we can add some more shareage over here. Yeah, we haven't added that much, so we can take a little bit over here. And then anything below the volume weighted average price really does end the trade for me. Let's put some beak wetters though on this bad boy since we've got this one up. Let's go 96s, and then we'll layer a little bit possibly into that $5 level. So that's my look right now on ABAT. Let's go back over to LAC though, because this one did make a new high day, 630, but it is coming right back down into the 10 EMA. The 10 EMA on the 5 is 607. That's where it is right now. Does it find support, or is this going to be a deeper retracement into the 20, like the one that we got from 1105 till 1115? I'm talking about that one right here that found support at the 20. We still have some shares on this bad boy, but we don't want to add if it's not warranted. to do so. CLPT, I was also waiting for an entry on this one. This one didn't give me the entry, and it just continues to print area highs. 972 high now, but the spread is really opening up on CLPT. It's about 15 pennies. I've seen it as wide as 20. So be on the lookout for that. I mean, it's a very directional and I don't want to say stable stock because it has had wicks at times, but the buy program on this one's kind of been evident to me, finding support at the 10 EMA. So my current trade, the dip, is 13s, and that's where the 10 EMA is right now. It's actually a little bit higher than that. It's about 20. So I'm going to cancel this order. I'm going to move it up a skosh. I'm going to go 925 on this order. We're going to try to front run the size a little bit, see if we can get filled. If not, all good. That's my look there on CLPT, but it rockets right back up into the $0.50, so I don't know what to do with that one. So it's ABAT that we have to keep an eye on here because we're out of the money on this one. We're break even, excuse me. 92's on. I've got 92's as well, but nothing printed, so we'll keep tabs on that and look for a move up. What else we got over here? QURE's at the high of the day. Yeah, I don't want to trade QURE. It's too expensive. But we'll look at it for everybody because that's what we're doing. We're on a show. So let's look at QURE. Where are we at? Yeah, this is trending up quite nice. This is quite clean here. If you zoom in, I mean, if you zoom out, obviously it's convoluted because the previous price action almost looks like it doesn't exist. But trust me, bro, it does. It's just such a big gap up. 45, 45, high of day, looking to take it out. I don't really want to trade this. It's just, it's hard for me to manage risk on it, so I'm going to let that one go.
Okay.
What do you got?
Yeah, let's see what we got going on. We're looking to grab some of these bottoms here. Got all out of Amazon, so we take a small loss on that one. TQs wasn't too bad for us. We got our eyes on this one again for potential bounce, but you can see that the momentum is heading towards the downside. It's just blowing past some of these signals. So I want to find something that's moving against the market. Gora pointed out that we got Tesla with the signal there at the lows. I was looking at NVDA. No good. We're starting to break through those candle lows, so we're going to avoid that one. So I think I'm going to go with the likes of Alibaba. All right, let's put on some size here. Relatively, you're just going to start a little starter position. What do we got? We're in at 87s. We got to give this one 50 cents or so to really know if we're wrong. And there it goes. NVDA, another leg to the downside. So September coming into full effect here, guys. Usually it's typically a bearish month, right? But we had some big time moves in the month. So now we're starting to play catch up to the downside. I think this is going to be a great opportunity to get involved around some of these lows. So wait until the month, wait until you see anything established, and then start grabbing things. I mentioned this on the likes of Amazon. I think this is going to be an absolute beautiful buy. Why? Because we have Apple that's not too far off of the all-time highs. We have Tesla that's only 14% now or so, and then we have Amazon that still hasn't established a new all-time high this year, if I stand corrected. Yeah. So, okay, no, February. So February of 25, earlier in the year is that. So we haven't put anything new in, and I think there's going to be a great opportunity to get involved in that. There goes Baba, a nice little pop to the top side. That's what we want to see. Bang. Let's go. Break through that resistance. Tesla's starting to come back down. Gaurav, watch out for this one. I know you said you're long. Now that you filled the majority of that wick, watch out. So shout out to Alexis on Fire. Let's get to our Alibaba trade here because that is starting to slowly grind higher. Grind in. Surfboard P. So there it is. Bang. Nice little pop there. Only a couple pennies or so, but we'll take it. 13 cents. Bang. 20 cents just like that. As quick as you would like, Sharif. You get that move higher. Looking for outliers. Don't want to be trading any of these mega cap tech names right now because why? They're moving with the market. We can wait for some things at the lows, but I'm going to look for something that's moving aside from that, and that's going to be Alibaba right now. We get that pop. Alibaba.
All right, guys, we're all out of LAC because, well, it dropped into my re-entry area. We got... You want to cover something?
Yeah. Like another massive leg down there in the market. Tesla blowing through. There goes NVDA continuing to sell heavier and heavier. Sharif, we got to take a look at the options chain before we send it back to you because we need to know what's going on with the overall market. Do we have call walls? Do we have put walls? Do we have Paul wall? I don't know, but we have to figure that one out as soon as faster than yesterday. We were supposed to figure this out here, guys. Not right now. Starting to come back in on Baba a little bit here, but we're not too worried about it just yet. 84. Oh, no, we're not in on that. There it is. Come on, there you go. You can do it. Bang. 180. Oh my days.
What happened?
And then what was the high of the day on NV? Oh my God, Sharif.
What happened?
It's music to my ears.
I like it.
Look at this here, guys. Intraday high, 179.83, 180 strike price, 114,000 contracts closed at that specific level, 113 still currently open. We ain't breaching that today. The market is weak. Look for the fades, in my opinion. Katina Man knocked it on the head. Baba's not doing what we would like. But it's already noon? Okay. We're going to Adara with Happening Now, and then Neil with Us Another Day.
What's happening right now is that it's actually news that just dropped, is orcl on watch. Oracle receiving $80 billion worth of demand for their high-grade bond sales. So Oracle, yet another day where this one's in the headlines, this time again for receiving $80 billion worth of demand for their high-grade bond sale. This stock is back to being around $300. So ORCL, after that massive earnings rally and subsequent pops to the upside on TikTok, is really struggling to stay strong. Here is the S&P 500 that just put in its second largest volume candle of the day, second only to the opening candle on this 15-minute chart. Lots of weakness in the market, whether you're looking at the SPY or the Nasdaq or Micron, which actually had a really strong earnings report, but cannot stay to the upside. This one had a double beat. They beat on EPS, they beat on revenue, and it's worth noting they actually raised their guidance for this about a month ago. So the fact that they beat even the raised guidance is very notable. They also had better than expected guidance for the next quarter. They did flag about $4.5 billion worth of CapEx for Q1. Unclear if that's what the market has an issue with, but either way, MU not reacting well to this fairly strong report, I would say, by all accounts. Let's take a look here as well. Remind you guys, earnings tonight, KB Homes, that is this yellow line here. Obviously, it's a little bit stagnant when it comes to its revenue growth, but either way, you can check out those results with Neil and myself after the bell on our market recap at 4 p.m. And speaking of Neil, he actually has a lesson of the day, so make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, check us out on X, and we'll send you over to Neil and his lesson. Take it away, Neil.
Thank you very much, Derek.
There it is, and I'm telling you, whatever you... I love that headline. We do it every single chance we get there, Adara. Only wish it was one for me too, man, or all of us. That would be a heck. With AI, you probably could pull it off. But the lesson of the day is, what would you do if you were flat? What would you do if you didn't have a bias in a stock? And what would you do if you had no position in the stock? And let that be sometimes your spirit animal. Because I find it's so easy to come in and think, okay, I like this stock for this reason as a positive catalyst, and if this level breaks, and you know, all that kind of stuff that we talk about for a good trade or a trade plan. But then, you know, the market shows you something that you might want to listen to. So the example I want to use is, you can see the market bleeding here. I was going to hide the executions, but I don't think, what's the point? So Palantir had positive news in the afternoon yesterday, right around here at that 180 level. So like in my note, it even said, if as long as it's holding 180, I'm looking for bounce plays and mean reversions, because you know the overall trade on the daily chart would be a consolidation at that point. So if you're going range bound, you hold here and then you revisit there, like all of that. But when I finally got in, I missed this trade, and then I kind of missed this trade, and then picked it up at 181. You always have to ask yourself a question. If I was flat and did not have that news bias, what am I looking at here, and what would I be thinking? And then you zoom out a little bit, and if I was flat, this is 184, failed breakout, close lower, fall lower, failed breakout at 184, dump into 78. Fail 184 after a V-shaped recovery. Fail to hold above 184 again. So what happened at the open? You have a false breakout and trend down, bouncing and holding VWAP. Now, yes, I liked the long trade on Palantir because of the news, holding 180, move into 185. That was the plan of action today. However, once the market opened, what happened? It's a false break of a big resistance level, and then a trend underneath the volume weighted average price, held it once, held it twice. I'll throw it even to you to show you that it held the prior close as well. If you're looking at the prior close resistance area, that held that as well. That's one of my favorite short setups. is a false pre-market, a false break of like the pre-market high or the prior high at a big resistance level, and then the continuation short on VWAP. If that's one of my favorite short setups, at a bare and absolute minimum, it means cover the long. It has to. Especially at that price, at the volume weighted average price, at a minimum, it's got to be get out of your long trade. Because it's okay to have a reason you like it or a bias, but sometimes the market's telling you something else. And if an A setup emerges for a short, in my opinion, and I'm sitting there in a long, and it's at the point where I'd enter the short, that is an automatic take it out. It doesn't mean you have to go short. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm going to have to go short. That is an automatic take that sucker out. And I'm going to go over, show you kind of another example of that. The whole, like, if you had no position in the stock. Now, ultimately, if you happen to be long Tesla today, like, look at this breakout trade. It's a pretty key level at 430, and it broke out that 430. Now, when it's as bullish as it is, if you were flat the stock and not in position, and you saw it do this at the 440 level, what would you be thinking? Like, would you be thinking, oh, this is definitely a leg up when it's coming into this support the last time? Or do you think this is like a trend break into the downside? This is sort of what I'm getting at. Like, if you were long in Tesla and it shows you a fail of that bull flag, maybe you're not shorting it. But that's one of those, how could you not at least be covering type of moments? And I can tell you that saved me on Palantir here today. And ultimately, it's something that I swear by, because there was a trader who, I'm trying to remember who the trader was by name, but I can't because I was a trainee. And I'll never forget, there was something that happened in the morning, and it could have been an economic number when I was a trainee, but it kind of shifted things. And I remember having a discussion about it with like a couple of trainees, and he overheard, and then he came over and he said those exact words. I don't think it was Darren, but I want to say it was Darren. Sean knows him as well. But he said, well, what would you do if you were flat? What would you do if you had no position, no bias in this moment and looking at this right now? Would you go the other way? And if the answer is yes, then just at least cover. Like, if you would genuinely say this is a short entry, if you weren't biased and weren't in position and you're in a long, well, then just cover the long for profit. Or maybe cover the prolonged just because you feel like it's the right thing to get out. But make sure that it's clearly a better short setup in that moment. Ask yourself that question at key points throughout any day. If the market starts going ham to the downside, if news hits, whatever it might be, because you might be bullish, and like I said, Palantir had all kinds of bullish things going on for it today. But very clearly, there was an A+ short setup, so you got to be able to get out when you see it. Good luck to everybody. There's your lesson of the day. And down below, timber.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know about Boeing, BA. We did get some news on Boeing while we were getting that awesome lesson of the day. Thank you, Neil, for giving that to us. Boeing apparently looking to move some of its operations. So they did announce that their program is going to be moving starting in 2026. All of their St. Louis operations will end as of 2027. They will be moving their F/A18 service life upgrade work to support the expansion of that St. Louis facility. So it looks like they're expanding that facility, but they're going to end their operations there. They're also apparently working to move several locations. They'll start with San Antonio and Jacksonville sites. So Boeing moving around a lot of operations. The stock's still near day's low. Worth noting just because BA, of course, has been in the news, especially with that Palantir deal yesterday. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. Yes, great lesson of the day from Neil. Thank you, Adara, for updating us on that. All right, a new small cap gapper has weaseled onto the scene. It goes by the ticker LXEO on the NQ, and it's up 33 2/3. Not a bad look. 720 high. The spread is reasonable at the moment, 3 pennies from what I see. It's opened up at times and been a little bit wider, but right now we're dealing with about a 3 penny spread. Here it comes down, there it widens up, 14 on the ask, 8 on the bid. Generally, there has been support on this one at the 10 EMA. 10 EMA showing me 6 mid-80s, I think 85 or 86. So we'll see exactly if it can lose 7. And if it does it hold up at the 10 EMA? So that's what I'm looking for right now, LXEO. That's the ticker. Also keeping an eye on CLPT. Shout out to my man Zion Lala. He's printed up a storm on CLPT, and this one has been sanely respectful of the 10 EMA as well, which right now is showing me 1950s. Here we are at 75. We're losing 75 pretty quick though. Here comes 60. So we are on the way to the 10 EMA. Let's see if we can get the beak or entry there. Let's see if we can pop back off these levels. What do we get? We got 70s. There's Joey. So we'll go ahead and layer some orders possibly into the high side over here in case this one does get a price spike up. And we have to layer some north of 20 as well. So that's going to be my look. CLPT, that's the first trade I'm having on that. There is Zion with $10 super chat shouting out. Neil, shout out to your boy Zion. La for that one. So that's what I'm looking at, Joey. We're involved in CLPT. We're involved as well as in CDLX. CDLX is going to have to hold up the area trough at 240. Otherwise, we get out.
Okay, cool. Good stuff there. All right, guys. So I'm in this long here one more time. Again, I just mentioned in the chat, just be careful in these tech longs because you have obviously NVDA and some of the bigger names just continuously selling. So this is like scalp mode. If I get anything north of this resistance, we're out of the trade immediately, right away. If not, then we got to go tight risk because we did take a little bit of a ding there on Baba. That is, actually, I'm not even going to put it there because it just takes so much time because everything is so efficient. There it is. So yeah, we take that move there from 177.99 and then to 04. So that's $1 loss, unfortunately, on that one. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Nice little pop in Amazon. We're looking for that move to the top side and see if we can get that. If not, it might continue to sell a little bit more. If we look at it from a daily perspective, you might not get that pop, right? You're punching through some key support levels, so that momentum might continue. So keep an eye on that. And yeah, so there it is. Once it feels the majority of that wick, then I think I'm gonna hop out. Gorb, that's one thing that we gotta continuously keep an eye out on, is that once you've already once you've filled in more than 50 to 60% of the wick to the downside on these hammer candles, chances are that it's not gonna hold up at that specific level, and then it's gonna continue southeast. This thing has been really, really glitchy today for me. All right, so yeah, I'm just sitting on my hands right now, aside from the position that I'm currently in. I had a friend tell me just now that IBIT is looking half decent. Let's take a look at the crypto space. The volume did start to pick up, holding VWAP, but again, just the waterfall type price action we're seeing across the board, I think is going to be reflected in the crypto space as well too. So keep an eye out on that. So yeah, I'm sitting here waiting. What are you guys looking at, bro? What happened to the market? Just logged in. Charlie Taff, I know you like shorting the market as well too. So I'm surprised you weren't already short. So you got to get the ball rolling. Nothing substantial, I don't think, anyways, from a news standpoint. I mean, it's just the cyclical effect of what the market is. And here we go. We got some selling. And what is the Nasdaq actually down on the day so we can get it?
Down 0.74.
Okay, so we're not even down 1%. Yesterday, you finished down around 0.75%, and then today roughly around the same thing. So nothing to get too worried about just yet. Once you start hitting that 5, 10, 15, 20%, then you want to watch out. But I don't think that's going to be the case here.
All right, guys. Got stopped out of CLPT because it lost the 10 EMA on a wick basis. It's trying to work above it now. So we'll go 0 for 1 on this one to start, but I'm keeping my eye on it because, you know, it's wick below the 10 EMA before and was able to retrace. I don't want to punch in quick for no reason. Let's see if it ends up defending that area. It's at 1940 right now. The 10 EMA a little bit lower than 1950. Also, LAC just came into the volume weighted average price. Lithium Americas, LAC, yep. Where is this, on the NQ or in the NY? Okay, there it is, right at 580. This is VWAP right here where it's found support before, showing me 580 right now as we speak. Yo, but this taskbar is quite frustrating. Let's see exactly if we get a nice move up here off LAC. We're gonna give this one a try because we're right at VWAP, so we don't have to risk too much. We'll give it to the 70s. It looks like it will lose though a little bit here, Joey. So, yeah, we're gonna have to take a try over here on LAC at this level. So we go. What do we got? We got 82. So let's go ahead and wait in the 80s as well as the 90s for some profit.
Oh, let's go
over here on LAC. That's the look there. I'm still watching CLPT. I'd like to jump back into this one if it's warranted because it's been so directional, right? I think I just might have gotten wicked out. Right back into 1946 it goes. So there's about 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. If this 5-minute candle ends up closing above the level, looks like it's trending up here. Yeah, let's go ahead and give this one a second try. And I'm gonna give this one, it's not even letting me in, man. Come on, bro. There we go. We're going to give this one to the current 5-minute candle low, which is 1925. So let's go ahead and wait just like that. And there we go. So we got, what do we got on?
What do we got?
On CLPT, we've got 54s on right now. So not bad. Let's wait in the 60s, see if we can get something in and around that level. CDLX is going to stop out. It looks like over here as it's losing trend as well. This one looked like it was going to be a double bottom, not so. So we'll have to stop out of CDLX if it continues to trend below 37s, showing me 40s at the moment. So we got to be careful with that one. So those are the 4 trades that have got on right now. What do you got?
All right, yeah, I'm looking at IBIT at VWAP, just telling my boy. Yeah, so IBIT at VWAP is starting to look a little bit juicy, considering the opening drive really strong. We like seeing this. Now we're starting to cook up a little bit here on the Amazon trade, holding those lows relatively well. I would love to add to this position, but with the waterfall price action, I don't know if it's going to be ideal. But this is what we like right there on that 5-minute. Oh my days. All right, it's getting really, really slow now. Okay, so that's really defined. You got to risk about 10, 15 cents on this one, so not too horrible. Let's continue to cook. I mentioned that on Amazon. We're going to start piecing some out as we get through some of those key resistance zones, and you can see the defense start to pick in on the tape. So I'll post up right there where we previously were at 220.17 and take a little bit off there. 220.17. Let's get that number in there relatively quick. And we are going to take 30%. If we can catch that fill. And then also I'm going to be going back towards, oh, there goes bang. We caught that fill on that one there, guys, doing it live. So there goes IBIT starting to bounce off VWAP as well, too. Going to get involved in this one. Let me post up.
Post up.
Post up. Yeah, post up. I heard that was Neil's game though. It was in the hard in the pain at all times. 413, 64.30. Let's go 64.27 as our stop. Now you're getting that VWAP bounce. Don't necessarily want to chase, so we'll post up at 37s. Let's get involved at 37s there, Sharif. Now we have that order put in. Bang, there goes Amazon. Nice move to the top side. Let's post up at 30s to see if we can catch that one. We would love to have more size on this, but again, I'm not in love with the longs today, considering what we're experiencing. Bang, there it is. We're posted. And then now, let's take a look at IBIT. Come on, you can do it. IBIT. Boom. There. We're waiting for this to come back in right towards that specific level. That's why it's going to give us exactly 10 cents of risk. Small size, and defined risk, my friend.
All right, CLPT holding, at least for the moment. Current candle has a higher low and a higher high, but the spread is causing some issues up into 67. So, I mean, we're showing 67s over here. I'm waiting well below that. Actually, incorrect. I'm waiting at 69, sorry. So we'll see if this one wants to print. I'm packing my patience on CLPT. I like the level, but it's not giving me continuation to the high side. And now the spread's opening up. So yeah, that's midday trading for you on small caps, especially when they're not strong. LXEO, we're taking prints on this one right back into the high of day, showing 725. That is the high. So let's see if we can continue to trend above the high. Also, we've got this bad boy on LAC. What do we got on this one? LAC, we got 82s. It's showing me 90. Here we go, 91. So we're trending up nicely. Do we have shares? Not too many here on LAC, so I don't want to take out too many too quick.
Bang, we caught a fill there on Amazon there, Sharif, brother. Joey. Yeah, we're cooking up there, brother.
Okay, brother, sounds good, man. We'll hope you print up multiple storms.
Thank you.
We're going to keep an eye out on that, looking for LAC to continue, but I see CLPTs breaking trend again, man. It's quite frustrating with these ones, with the spread especially. This one, it does look like it may lose the 10 EMA over here. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that. What else do you guys have? Let me know what you guys are looking at. I know about QURE, but that one is a little bit too expensive for me, Joey. So while I ponder my next trade, tell them what you're looking at.
All right, guys, pondering. Exciting news for Canadian sophisticated traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, offering 3x bull and 3x bear exposure to the S&P and TSS 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. These These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn a little bit more. Yeah, and there you go. You get that pop in Bitcoin. So we were posted, we didn't get the fill. So we're slightly late on that buying opportunity, but we're starting to see a lot of hammer candles across the board. And that's what we like. We know how we're going to start playing these, right? So once you start to fill 60% of that wick to the downside, you're going to look to get out and just be prepared to do so. Sometimes it holds it to the penny, but otherwise keep an eye out on it. Hammer, 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 hammer. Guess what? It's hammer time. It's hammer time. I know.
Are you too legit to quit or can't touch this? Which one's your favorite?
Too legit, man.
Too legit.
Yeah.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit, yeah. Oh my God. All right, so yeah, do we get involved in some TQs here or what, brother? I really like these lows and the signal that we got specifically there. Do love Bitcoin a little bit more though, personally, so we'll wait for this pullback, the retest, and then maybe we'll get in right in that $100 mark on the TQs. But first and foremost, Sharif, you know what we got to do. We're going to take a little bit more off on this Amazonian trade right there. So there it is, pop, 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 risk profile defined, and then we get that move, 50 cents ITM.
All right, bro. LAC, we're doing okay on this one. It's coming back in to 6, seller at 94s. But we've seen this with LAC. There'll be sellers at like every 2 pennies. It was the case in front of 6, and it's a case now below 6. So, yeah, that's the situation we're involved in. 92s, not printing the 94s. This one's doing okay, though. Where's it? This LXEO trade. I don't know what's going on with these small caps, but they've all got annoying spreads. And so I'm not getting the prints as easy. Like this was at 733, and I wasn't getting the print. So trying not to get frustrated, trying to pack my patience, but it's just a little annoying. Because you're forced out of trades that you really don't want to get out of. Anyway, here's that 94 again on LAC. There we go. Now we take them out. Good look. 96 is showing up. But as I've mentioned, you watch out for selling literally at every level. There we go. 98's now getting taken out here on LAC. We're going to hold some north of 6. I'm holding some for that 603 area is my next profit taker on LAC. There's 98s. We're moving up, looks like back into 6. It's a good move off the volume weighted average price. However, that's the good news. The bad news is we're still below the 10 EMA. So when we're below the 10 EMA on these small cap gappers, I'm always a little concerned that we start using them as resistance. We'll see if this one ends up doing that or what the situation is. But LAC, nice. We got 82s now. It's showing me 6s. All right, LAC, let's go. We've done well on LAC on the day. Let's see if we can continue to do well on this one. LXEO continues to annoy the hell out of me as it comes into my level, doesn't print as a result of the spread. That has been the characteristic of these small cap gappers. Lately, they are spready and frustrating. CLPT, I'm holding at 54s. It's showing me 50s. It's generally consolidating at the 10 EMA. Neither printing above nor below, so I'm trying to pack my patience in here with this one, but it does feel like maybe the buy program has got shut off with a 2039 high. Now it's down into the $19.50. There it goes, popping back into 50s, showing me 58s, 60s. Are the buyers back? The spread tightening up to about 4 pennies. My first profit taker is like in the high 60s, and it's showing me 70s, which is normal, right? The spread has just been, that's the nature of the small cap gappers today. Spread not letting me print. Again, we get rejected at that level again. That's frustrating. Okay, so we'll pack our patience and not look at it too much. Otherwise, it's just going to piss me off. LXEO, we're going to continue to watch that one into 733s, but it probably behooves me to throw out some orders into the 40s in case this one does get going. LXE, good luck, but suffering from the same afflictions that the others are suffering from. Back to my LAC trade, still zigging and zagging with 6, Joey. Not surprised by that, though, because 6, that whole dollar level, does act as an area of support resistance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Psychological.
Oh, man. Yeah, for sure. For sure, brother. There goes the psychologia stuff is crazy.
Psychologia.
Psychologia. Psychology, that shit can get you going. Man, oh man, oh man. And this is what we wanted to get involved in there on Bitcoin. You get 20 cents there, but the Qs, like, so you get that waterfall type price action, and then you get that aggressive bounce back as well too. So yeah, it's a tough look, man. A bunch of missed opportunities here, grabbing those bottom lows. Man, Sharif, am I ever, like, I can't do anything here.
What happened?
Everything's just freezing all the time.
Oh yeah,
over there.
Well, you got to tell them. Yeah, trust me.
I don't know. At this point, I don't even know what to say at this point. Who are we going to?
We're going to me.
All right.
Did you know that instead of risking your own money, you can now trade someone else's capital? No more fear of losing. No more moving your stop loss too soon. And you actually get enough capital to make it worth your time, so you can aim for big profits, not just a couple of $100 a month. This is the revolution called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. This is how it works. First, you join Trade the Pool. Second, you hit your profit goal. And then third, you keep 70% of the profit. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, weasel on over to tradethepool.com or scan that QR code on the bottom left of your screen for 10% off. Shout out to Mitch and everybody else at Trade the Pool, who, by the way, guys, in case you didn't know, are coming up to join us here at Real Trading, of course, and Trader TV. Nobody's got anything planned on that day, because why would anybody have anything planned on Thanksgiving? That's crazy. Well, you're an exception, Adair. I have things planned. So quite frankly, very excited to have them. But I don't know, man. I know Canadian Thanksgiving's not popular in the States. They probably don't even know that there's a difference.
Respect us, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
Put some respect on the
I can't wait to have Mitch up here
and
that Katz fellow as well. And we can shoot the breeze. We'll take him out. We'll go around the town. October weather, usually around Thanksgiving.
It's getting a little bit better. Oh, okay. So what? Are you posting up all night? What day is this during the weekday?
It's a Monday, Joey. So it's absolutely normal to go out on a Monday, party, then come back in the next day, when everybody's had the day off, the day prior.
So you've already committed to the party, is what you're saying.
You tell me Mitch is going to be up here maybe once a year. Of course I'm going to go.
All right, then you're committed, brother. I'm going to hold you to it.
Darryl, we're going up on a Monday, baby. We're turning up on a Monday.
On a Monday. I will not be doing that, that's for sure. But I will come by and say what's up and say hello to everyone.
You see this stock, TNFA?
Oh, man, you went there.
You like that one, eh, Fabian?
That's crazy.
All right. Sorry. TNFA is breaking out over here, back above the volume weighted. I know, I love you, dog. You're on my frames. I'm talking to Fabian, who's talking to me in my ear right now. But TNFA breaking down. Oh, no. Breaking out, I should say. Coming into that $6 area. Don't forget, though, guys, higher lows. And this one has had a tendency to retrace after making these local area highs. So be careful with it. But it's awfully strong right now. So keep your eye on TNFA. I certainly am. And if it's warranted, I'm going to weasel in. Simple as that. CLPT is the one I'm focusing on right now. But I'm also focusing on this other one. LXCO, go baby, go. What do we got on this one, Joey? We got 19s, show me 35s, my next profit taker in the low 40s. And then we're also keeping a very close eye on LAC, because we're waiting over here at 3s. It's at 3s, but we're not getting the print. We're going to have to pack our patience here on LAC, and I'm going to go ahead and also wait at 9s. So we're going to wait for LAC to print us at 603 and then 609. That's my look there. But oh no, here comes LXCO into 40s. Say it ain't so, baby. Let's see if we can shake that seller at 40. Like 99% of the calls that I don't have booked in my phone book, it always says likely spam.
Likely spam.
I mean, is everybody spam these days, Joey? So that's a look. So LXCO just got into the high of the day. I want to say 740, but we're waiting at 42, so we didn't get the print. So we'll pack our patience. And let's have a look at here CLPT. Very consolidative and has been here for, I want to say, the last 20 minutes. As I look at the side charts, what I'm trying to discern is whether we're putting in higher lows. It looks like we're marginally putting in higher lows, and the closing prints, for the most part, are closing above the 10 EMA on the 5. So I'm going to pack my patience with this one. But here comes LXEO down. It just touched 740. Now it's retracing into the quarter dollar. I've got 19s on, so I need to be alive to this pullback here. Joey, what do you got, man?
Okay, yeah, right on, guys. We're all out of that that Amazon long there, so a nice little pop to the top side. You almost get the dollar on that one, but we got all out, pop, pop, pop. Nothing substantial. We were relatively small on that one. I'm just kind of frustrated at myself for not taking the opportunity on IBIT. That was just, I was going to say Darius Golden, but he's not really in there. Golden Tate, whoever you want, 24K Golden.
Tate?
Yeah, Golden. Remember that guy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
receiver,
yeah. He was, trust me, Sharif, I used to be a football guy, and then
I believe you, bro.
But yeah, there it is. Nice bounce off the volume.
Tifa's breaking out again,
Go
Joey.
get it. Go talk to him about it.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. We're gonna get dinged on YouTube for saying that, because your boy Donald's classifying them as something now. You know that, right?
We don't want to do that. Man.
So here we go. TNFA is coming into local. Here comes. Okay, so sorry. It just printed the high of the day, the technical high of the day, $6.32. But I want to bring your attention to that pre-market high over here. That is 643, and that is still the pre-market high. And I'm still not going to trade this until it clears it, but it's very strong. It's up 75%. And looks like it's really getting the support now with the volume. This current candle has about 2 million shares traded so far. So we print an official high of the day at 632. We're still below the pre-market high. Oh no, Joey's taking it out. It's a new high day, 641, and we're about to 642 now. Keep it down, Ram. And now we're going to keep an eye out on the pre-market high at 643. So TNFA, you can call this whatever you guys want on the other side. There it is, Joey. We've taken out the pre-market high. Now watch the reversion. Where are the shorts going to step in now? Down into 30. Here we go. Let's see if we get the reversion or we get that continuation. Into the 20s we go. Is this a buying opportunity or are we reverting down here? I'm going to pack my patience on this. I don't want to jump in too quick. Shout out to this stock over here. I don't want to keep referencing as that. Joey Options.
Oh,
what do you got? Oh, no, it's breaking out.
Yeah, it's going again there, brother. It's going to continuously go because
You're watching
that guy.
Tifa as well?
No, I'm just living vicariously through you. It's going. I know, man, I know. There it is. Bang, 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 bang. Getting that pop there in IBIT. Yeah, we got all that. Rich buddy, you're saying you got 7K shares of that. Let's go rock and roll from 22 to 2039. Well, at least I had a better price than you, but I didn't have nearly as many shares. No, I'm only messing around. Good work there, my friend. Love seeing that. Robinhood starting to come back in a little bit as well, too. Holding the volume weighted average price hammer candle right at those lows. So there's two trades that I'm just like, why didn't we just pull the trig? You got to just pull it, boom, right there at the volume weighted average price. And then after that waterfall effect here on the Nasdaq, you have that hammer candle volume really started to pick up, and then it cooled down, bang, you get involved there, and you take yourself 80, 90 cents. So that would have been a fun ride. So we'll be patient, wait for those pullbacks, and maybe we can continue and start to recover a little bit and head back into the volume weighted average price. Let's see if we can maybe not freeze. There we go. Oh, nope. Oh, there we go. Yeah, all right, we did it. So yeah, Amazon all done. Let's go over a couple of our trades there today. Oh yeah, attempt one didn't work for us. Patience. What do we wait? 15 minutes or so, and then we get right involved back in, because you'd be more mad at yourself for not getting in on that second attempt. Now, as for, we did trade MU earlier. Oops. Oh. No. MU. That was the MU long up here. Bang, you take that little scalp, and then also with TSLL to the downside streak. That's all I got going on right now. I'm gonna go hunting right now to see if we can find anything off the lows. Tesla, yeah, bouncing off VWAP once again. Maybe we'll get involved in that, considering that we already have a 1-for-1 position on that. Let's go over some of our top volume names to see if anything has changed, considering that we... Man, oh man.
What happened, Joey?
I can't do anything. It's just constant.
It's freezing on you?
Yeah. Can't do anything. Take it over for me.
Have you tried to increase the memory on TWS?
Yeah,
hit file for me there.
Up here?
Wherever you go into
file,
and then go to global settings.
Global config?
Yeah, that's the one. And then go general.
Then?
Yeah. Okay, you do have memory allocation.
So,
done, right?
so we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Well,
that's what we got going. Yeah, it's tough. It's freezing.
Pardon me? Are you streaming the show in the background?
Yeah, I always have it on.
Yeah,
I have it. I literally have it on all the time.
Is that what the issue is, Katina Man? Okay.
It's the quality of it. Yeah, we can take a look right now.
Yeah,
but I mean, Katina Man, this is the first time that has happened, right? It's just kind of been lagging.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to get on. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, here we go. I'm watching CLPT. It looks like it's working back into that 75 penny area. What do we got on? We got 54s. It's showing me 73s. I don't want to take out profit too quickly over here, especially if we can kind of squeeze into some local area highs. I'm waiting. My next profit taker is at 82, showing me 73s, but this one can jump up 10 cents as well as it can drop 10 cents quick as you like. So let's continue to watch. And even if it does jump up, it has a tendency not to fill you because of the spread. So right now, it's a 10 penny spread, but I've seen it a bit wider. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I want to jump back into TNFA over here. I kind of got wicked out of that. I tried to work, where is it? I tried to work my way in to, where is my TNFA trade? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Now it's right back above 6. So it hasn't given up the ghost all that aggressively over here. So let's see if we can get some continuation. I don't want to overstay my welcome on this, but I also don't want to give back too much on this. And here we go. The breakout does look like it's live. Oh no, here we go. It's taken out all the levels. We got 27s on. We just got high day at 63, literally. So let's go ahead and wait at 77s. 65 seller, aggressive seller at 65. Can we ascend back up there? 58, 59 showing up now. It looks like the breakout's on. Here we go. Boom! Into the high. We take it out at 82. Let's keep an eye out on this one. TNFA, we still got some outs. We're going to wait now in the 90s. There's low 80s. Can we get continuation? High 80s now. Ooh. Oh, boom! Into the 90s. Let's go ahead and wait on the north side. We're going to wait north of 7 now. Joey, let's see if we can get that continuation quick as you like. Through that $7 area, there's a seller at 7, excuse me, 695. That's where the seller currently is. It's going to halt, Joey. Oh. We're going to halt here at, nope, false halt. It looks like it's a false halt. We need 10 seconds of this to gray out. It looks like we may gray out here unless we drop to 1. Oh, false halt. It shafted me. All right. Right back into 92. I thought that was definitely going to halt there. Up a little bit higher now. It's a new high day in the 96s, so the halt parameters changed, right? Because the timer starts running. 98's now showing up. 7s, Joey. Can we get a little bit higher? Can you get much a high? No. Here we go. Watching 7, 7, 7. Seller at 7 again. Let's see if we can shake that seller. What's the high of the day? It's 7 on the dot right now on TNFA. Pleased with this trade, but looking for more. What do you got, Joey?
A mouthful of water.
My bad, bro. I didn't mean to do you like that. I didn't look over to see where you were at.
The dramatic pause. I had to throw that one back there like the good old tequila shot. Yeah. I mean, anyways, obviously water in there. But anyways, guys, yeah, so what's going on? Robinhood, nice pullback there. We do like that hammer candle that's forming. Waiting for a little bit deeper of a pullback. See, I can't do anything, man. Jesus.
What happened, Joe? Okay.
Go, please, and thank you.
All right, guys, watching. Look, I've moved up my stop now to break even on TNFA. Now I've wet the beak there. We only have one out left. It's going to have to be a 7 1/4 or a break even. So let's go ahead and throw that on there. Just give me 1 second here. There we go. Now we can kind of do that quick as you like. Super simple. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on right now. Definitely looking for that 7 continuation on TNFA, but I don't want to just get a quick wick above 7. I'm putting my order at 7 1/4. I think this one, if it squeezes through that level decisively, could stop a lot of people out as people get short squeezed. Here we go. Now it's 710, 715, Joey, 717, seller at 17s. Here we go. We're moving on up.
There you go. You hit the dollar.
Boom. Into the level. We took $1 on that. There we go.
Oh,
we'll take $1 on TNFA, but it just showed a momentary halt there as we started doing that halt parameter at 7 1/4, but we dropped right back down into 7. I'm pleased with this trade. I was 0 for 1 on it, but we got back and we got right back in for the breakout above 620. Keep your eye on TNFA up 110%. Looking for more. Let's go back now to our trade on CLPT. You got to be kidding me, bro. Like, we only still have one print on this. How many times are we going to move up into the 80s? I'm not going to take a print. I still see higher lows, Joey, so I think I'm going to pack my patience on CLPT. The higher lows, I think, are what is operative here. City Boy,
It's 3-0.
305.
It's 3-0 up too.
Gloud, I found TNFA, made 1,200 on the day. Very happy for you, brother. I hope you print out multiple storms. I hope that's a big day for you, I'm assuming, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's a big day nonetheless, and couldn't be more pleased for you, my man. So shout out back to TNFA, Joey, as this one makes another hive day. It's 752. This one's really going now, guys. Here we go, 757, 760. The breakout is on. This is what we're talking about right now. Fantastic looking breakout. Here's the halt parameter again, showing up at 60 momentarily. False halt, at least for the moment, dropping right back down. Wow, CLPT, finally, you little, There we go. Now we're taking out some prints here on CLPT Joseph Options as this one curls right back up. We got 54s. Now it's showing me 20s. So I'm pleased as dang punches, as Dare always says. Let's keep an eye out on that one. It's okay, City Boy. I sold too early, but you'll take it. Bro, you're up $1,200. You know, count your blessings, right? Let's not get too greedy over here. But, yeah, I don't want to call you greedy. But, yeah, you know what I mean.
That's USD as well, too. That's
big money.
That's like 1,800 snow pesos almost at that point there. So there you go. There you go. There you go, guys. All right, Robinhood starting to come back in. Let's see if we can hold through this body. If the body holds, then maybe we'll get a continuation. 130. High, but maybe a lower high in the top side direction. There's Ethereum right here, and then also VWAP. This is the one that I'm most frustrated about, is the miss on this IBIT trade, because that was cash money. Now there you go. You're starting to get that pop in Robinhood. Let's get involved in a little bit of hood, because everything is all good in the hood all time. So yeah, we'll get involved. We'll post up around these lows. 2740s, starting to get a little bit of a pullback there. Now, if it cracks 2740, let me pull it up on this chart so you guys can see, because I do have it on my side. If it cracks 2740, then it might not be a good idea. Boom, boom, boom. But it did get a nice little bounce back up to 60s there, so showing some relative strength. Bang, there it is. Now that would be our out here, relatively defined. You only have to risk about 30 cents if I were to punch in right now. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do, but we'll start small, and then I'm going to look to add aggressively if this trade does end up working. Amazon worked out pretty good for us. Now, considering we had this strong bang, there you go, you nice little pop in Robinhood at the volume weighted average price. Another little move as the market is starting to grind higher. But you have out of the opening drive really weak, but then you recover extremely strong, put in a new all-time high from the intraday, new intraday session right there, and then pop, you get a little topside move to in Robinhood. Should have went a little bit harder there, heavier there, Shree. That's all right. We'll wait for one more pullback, and then we'll hop in full size there.
You like that song by Nav? Tap, 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 tap.
I'm not a.
No. You can't say the words.
I know Adara likes.
Adara, do you like Nav?
Adara likes Nav.
I know there was a story for sure. No. I said I knew there was a story for sure. I didn't say anything.
Oh, jeez.
Drop my mic. But yeah, so sorry, Fabian. So what happened was when I was like in grade 10, my friend texted me. She's like, "Well, I've heard of like the next Drake. He's like related to my friend by marriage. I forget exactly how, but like second cousin something." So we were listening to Nav like over in a certain area of Winnipeg before he got really famous. I like one of his songs. I find his vibe to be a bit off-putting, and I have not listened to him in years.
He likes to hurt people, Adara. He's constantly threatening.
Yeah, and then his like sunglasses. I think he thinks he's a lot cooler than people think he is. Has always been my vibe with Nav. But yeah, he's got some bangers. I'm not gonna lie. False move, you get clap, clap, clap.
Oh, is that what he said? Oh, is that what he's saying?
Oh, come
I
on.
swear that he lived up on Burnhamthorpe.
He lives in Brampton, doesn't he?
I swear that he had a house on Burnhamthorpe Road in Mississauga or something along those lines. Bang! There goes Robinhood to the top side. We waited for that pullback, and then now it's slowly starting to cook off. We'll post up. We'll take a little bit. We catch that fill. Go Robinhood. I'm glad that we got involved in this name. Am I glad that we put on more? We didn't put on enough shares? Absolutely not. Need to go a little bit heavier here, considering. So I'm going to be grinding here all day, to be honest with you. Grinding. There goes Amazon still going, looking pretty good. So yeah, I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities to catch some rebounds in here. Just have to be patient. And then when they arise, I got to pounce extremely heavier here.
Pounce, Joey?
Yeah.
All right, I've been trying to pounce here on CLPT, and thank goodness I packed my patience. Show me 35s right now. We just got the beak wet at 25s. We're waiting south of the $0.50, knowing full well that the $0.50 could be a psychological area of resistance. Showing 35s again. Here we go. Now we're showing 40s. Can we cross? Can we shake that seller at 40? 50, Joey. That's the second dollar winner on the day. Here we go. CLPT. That's $20.50 now the high. We still have shares on this one, so let's go ahead. And I'm going to wait at 69er next. Let's see if we can get that level at 69er. But I got to remind you that TNFA is halted, and it halted at 12:39.56. Alas, it is the time. That's what I'm going to look for. 12:44.12. So if we were to open up, we should be opening up at 12:44.56. It is 12:44.21. So let's see if we can open up on time. If it's going to be a 5-minute halt, let's see if it's going to be a 5-minute halt. Otherwise, it'll have to be likely 10. So I don't have anything right now on TNFA. We're all done our trade on this one. But if it's going to break out in this insane fashion, then we definitely need to keep tabs on it. If not for ourselves, for the viewers who may be trading it. So that's what I'm looking at right now. We're in CLPT and we're in LAC. LAC continues to do the dance with absolutely no undergarments. With that $6 area a little above $6, Joey, a little bit below. Looks like there's a seller here at 610. Let's see if we can shake that seller. I've tried to take account of that seller at 10 by putting my order at 8. So, Assassino, we're going to have to pause for 1 second. TNFA is opened. Joey, it is flying. Here we go. Here comes $9. It's up 150%. It's a 969 high, 880 high now. And this one is really going. Here comes the halt, 880. We're going to pause for a second because we got to do this.
All right, guys. 14 years, zero hacks, zero excuses. BTCC.com delivers when others don't. Trade Bitcoin up to 500x, even Tesla Gold and 4x. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you trade like them. Regulated in the USA, Canada, and Europe, trusted by 6.8 million traders. Trader TV Live exclusive. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box for a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com, where the pros trade, and now so can you.
Soldier boy.
Yeah, no. I mean, all right, guys, we're all out of that Robinhood there. Got nice little pop, comes back into the break even. We get out of dodge on that front. Waiting for this 127.61 support level to continuously hold. As long as we don't breach it, then we might have another opportunity to get right back in there. So we want to take another stab at it, holding the backside of this trend on IBIT. Boom, right there. Look for it to continuously hold. So that's not too bad of a look. Okay, it's holding, man. I really want to get involved in this, but Gaurav, you are right. One thing that we want to keep in mind here is this.
What do you got, Joey?
Boom. Right? So that's still intact. So you're rejecting that downtrend. Glad that we hopped out relatively quick. I'm going to wait for this TQ's pullback because I believe that we can continuously grind higher. Amazon was definitely the one, the better bounce off of the lows. Let's get back into the Amazonian. And there it is. Like, essentially, we're not like right out at the top, but relatively close, right? So you get the meat of the move, and that's not horrible. We'll accept that all day, every day.
All day.
Just need to put on a couple more shares A's, and that's what I got going on right now.
All right, Joey, CLPT, man, it is going. Here comes $21. We got 19.5s on. It's showing me 2081, 2094. Holy cows. Here we go. It's breaking out, guys. $21 incoming. It's a 2094 high right now. That is the current high a day. Good continuation today on CLPT. It kind of did nothing for a little bit. I guess maybe the buy program got shut off from around, I want to say, that big red candle came in at 12:05 until the breakout, till 12:30, maybe about 25 minutes, give or take, of pretty much no action there. But it's got plenty of action now. We only have one out left on this bad boy. So here's what I'm going to do, 21.25. That's where we're going to sell this bad boy. And if it ends up printing there, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, then we'll give back a little bit then. Let's look at TNFA though, because that's the one that's halted again to the upside. It's halted at 880. The tap showing me $8.88, so slated to open about 8 pennies higher than the halt level. Again, the super easy way to figure out when this is likely to open is to look at the time in sales and look at the last print that came in. This says 12:45.36. It is currently 12:48.29. So the earliest we will open is 12:50.36. So we still have a few more minutes on that bad boy. So let's pack our patience and see what this one does and what the tap is closer to the open time. Currently right now, show me 895. So creeping up a little bit higher than the last time I reported to you guys. Right. So CLPT still doing the dance below 21. The only other trade we have on is Lithium Americas LAC. And this one is still zigging and zagging with 6. Kind of a consolidative move. But that doesn't really deter me because what I see are higher lows generally. And here we go, moving up again into 603. As I mentioned, I've got my profit taker a little bit south of 610. If it does clear 610, then we will, we'll probably put that above 630, which is the current high at day. Those levels are right on point. TNFA, are you, Tisha? What levels, Tisha? The halt levels? The halt level, yeah, so I think the tap I'm giving you, Tisha, is $9. The halt level is obviously 880. I'm not sure if you were referring to me though, Tisha, but let me know. Otherwise, we'll just let that one go for now, and we have to go to Adair at the big desk.
Yeah, keep an eye here on MP and any of these other rare earths type plays. I'm seeing that G7 nations are considering price floors on rare earths production to counter China. These discussions are apparently also including possible taxes on Chinese rare earth exports, but there's not been a decision reached yet. There is a little bit of, as you guys can see, a bit of movement here in names like MP. As we get this report, the G7 nations are weighing a price floor on rare earth production. Back to you.
Oh, no, here comes LAC down. Sorry, not CLPT, excuse me. Right back down into the 10 EMA. Okay, so here we go. So it doesn't clear 21. It's coming back down into $20. The 10 EMA on the 5 is right around $20, a little bit below. So let's see if it holds up here. I don't want to necessarily add into the position, but if it does hold up 20, and then gives me another 5-minute candle that makes green, I'm going to add into the position. All right. Because we don't have much left on this one. Okay, Joey's just got to go back. TNFA open, 894 high, but it's dropping back down into 8. Prior bar low on this one is 777s, but we're going to get a halt parameter before we can even get there. We're going to down halt now, likely on TNFA, 797, the halt level here. Bid 792, ask 797, and there's the gray out. We are now halted down on TNFA. We were halted up. Now we're halted down. The tap showed me 650, about $1.40 south of where we currently are. We'll have to see if that tap maintains that same price once we get a little bit closer to opening up. That's all I've got right now, Joey. What do you got?
All right, cool. Yeah. I'm still looking at some of the same names here. Robinhood as a potential second entry. We're all out of Amazon, starting to pull back a little bit deep. And also as with the TQs as well, right? So keeping an eye out on this one. We had that stopping volume in place, and then now you're starting to get a little bit of a bounce for, oh, there it went. Oh, wow, Robinhood, man, oh man. Yeah, that's another missed opportunity right there. Just missing them left, right, and center. Not taking the jimmies, man, and then sure enough, that's what happens when you don't take your shots. So there it is, a nice bounce. Gave you multiple opportunities to get back in at that low, and then bang, you already get like a 50-cent pop just like that in one 1-minute candle. So yeah, you got to take the jimmies, man. Take the jimmies. Yeah, Tesla's looking pretty good as well. No, Rich Buddy, honestly, I'm not even looking at that name right now, to be honest with you. I just think that space is overall a lot of weakness going around in that space. So, but yeah, all right, Robinhood still on the backside of that trend. Tesla. Nice bounce off of the lows. Bang, top up there, and then you get that move higher and higher. So, yeah, all right, let's see. Patience, and wait for the other opportunities to get involved. What's Rocket Lab been up to? Yeah, it's just one of those days, guys. I apologize. Not much I can really do. Everything's just moving extremely slow, like they're on the good old promethazine and codeine there. So, yeah, all right. ionq, we'll have to just do this really, really slowly. There it is, bang, you get that move to the top side. Joby, not too bad of a look, but you get those hammer prints across the board there as well. So that's pretty good, especially after that waterfall type price action. So we won't complain about that whatsoever. Do I get involved at the low end on these TQs? 1068, 168. I'm gonna post up there just in case we do get a fill. I'm gonna post up at 63s. Bang. And then we'll just wait to see if that's going to come in. If the overall market wants to continue to grind, then maybe we can get involved in that front. For me, it's just FOMO on a couple of the names in the likes of iBit, the TQs, obviously, and Robinhood now, considering that it's still going. But we executed how we were planning to. Got out on that break-even stop relatively quick. And we'll wait for this to load up. Yeah, okay, there we go. WBD. Not too bad, not too bad. And then as for Applied Digital, this name, like from a daily standpoint, has just been going absolutely insane. This daily is amazing, right? This looks like it's a quantum stock or something along those lines. So yeah, Applied Digital, you want to wait for those pullbacks to come in, and then we take it from there. Palantir off of those highs, and that's it. So we're posted up on the TQs. We're waiting for another pullback here in Robinhood, and I appreciate you, Adam.
Is that all class, Adam?
Well, I mean, hey, YV, I don't know where you're from, but I'm pretty sure that's what the good old folks, some of the good old folks over there in the United States like to drink. So, yeah, that's just what it is. This guy's trying to tell me it's for nausea. Well, I heard otherwise. All right?
What was the argument?
Promethazine with codeine is that that's the
what about
that's the Master P, the scissor stuff. No.
Sipping on some scissor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never even knew what scissor was.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know what lean was until not that long ago.
What it is.
I've always heard about lean, but I didn't even know what was involved.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's lean. So it's lean.
Yeah. Scissor, lean? Is it the same
scissor,
thing?
Yeah, lean, scissor, same thing. Yeah, there you go. Now you know. Yeah, I'll look at QURE, Death God. Is that what he from Death Note or something like that? Okay, QURE. Yeah, pretty good look here. Uniquer, very interesting. I mean, that's a pretty good look, right? But there's zero liquidity. Is this a buyout or something? Something going on here. That's a big time move on the daily, and even from the internet pre-market, it just goes absolutely nuts. I'm curious. That's a big time move there that you're experiencing in this name. You go from $14 all the way to a high of $51. That's pretty big, man. So yeah, it's looking pretty good daily. Let's see if this can be sustained. You obviously want to wait for that pullback before you look to get involved on that one there, Sharif.
Not a bad one, John. VNET, John pointing out VNet. Yeah, it's not a bad looker. Let's look at this one super quick. VNET is the ticker. It's light on, I mean, I don't want to say it's light. Volume, yeah, 13 million shares, John. It's just not a small cap gapper in the strict sense. It's almost $3 billion market cap, but there you go, man. 1071 high, it's up 14%. There's not a whole wrong going with this one or a whole lot bad to say about it. I don't really gauge areas of support and resistance as easily. Maybe VWAP over here, it held 1030. I'm going to keep it on the side chart. There's a couple that now have lost trend that I can kind of replace with this one. Thank you, John, for pointing that out. VNET. Joey, you ready to start the news, my man?
Ready as I'll ever be, man.
All right, baby. I'm going to flatten out my positions over here so I don't have to fall. I don't have to.
I'm going to be grinding here a little bit too. So
yeah. You don't have to do any of the reading. So it's a lot easier. On your side to do that. I have to cancel here, Joey. So let's start the news, guys. Again, I want to remind you guys, an email got sent out today with respect to sort of this new watch list. This is basically a watch list I prepare every day for the folks here on the desk. Joey uses it, Neil uses it, Katina Man uses it, Dara looks at it at times. And it's a little bit more comprehensive than the watch list we send out every day. It's got every story's got a page dedicated to it. It's not too lengthy. all the headings right there. As you can see, everything's subdivided by headings. And on the top right, you got 3 areas of support. You got 3 areas of resistance with explanations as to why they're areas of support and resistance. This is the note that we're using every day to do the news. So if you want this sent to you guys right into your inbox every day when you get the normal watch list anyway, check your email. There's an email that was sent out by Brendo, and it just basically, all you got to do is click yes. So, like for example, today's watch list is about 11 pages long, right? Super quick. You can kind of just only choose the stories you want to focus on and then just skip the others. And for example, Micron is earning. You're going to see everything over here with respect to their earnings report. I don't smell anything. And with respect, to trader takeaways, market context, et cetera, et cetera. So I just want to bring that to your attention. If you're into that kind of thing, super easy. Do you do the notes personally, or you do them personally and with AI? It's a combination of both. So the technical levels are myself, and then the selection of the stories are myself, and then I summarize them with AI, and then we get them ready for you. So it's basically a hand-curated watch list every day. The stories are not automatically generated. They're selected by me. We look for the ones that are most appropriate for our viewers. We're looking at tech. We're looking at high flyers, things that people would want to trade, typically things that are doing volume, okay? So that's all for you guys. It's absolutely free, and it comes in to your inbox every day. You can choose to use it. All right, Joey, ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this, baby. I lost my, there it is. Okay, 1 second over here. I should be good in 1 second. There it is. It's on this side, Joseph option. So we just got to copy it from over here. I can get this. There we go. All right, let's start with the first headline of the day. Alibaba surging bigly on more AI investment. So let's talk about this. So where's Baba up right now? We're up 8.5% on Baba. And in fact, this is the highest Baba has been since 2021. Yes, it has been that long since Baba has been up here. Year to date as well, it says 107% over here, but I'll give you the live. It's 108 2/3 now. Baba is up year to date. So needless to say, Baba, very, very strong Chinese ADR on the year. Futu, F-U-T-U, up a little bit more, 124%. And then you have also XPEV up 80%. So there are some Chinese ADRs that are very strong. In fact, all the Chinese ADRs, for the exception of one, MPNGF, is actually green on the year, all of them. So the Chinese stocks have been quite strong. Before we start this Alibaba news story, we're going to go to Joey for a second.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Each year, we have 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NIAID-listed Orgenex, Ogen, is changing that with first-in-class intranasal drug design for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Orgenex is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. Go check it out.
Let's go. Let's talk about why we're up. As I mentioned, on Alibaba, they're looking to expand their AI spend. So CEO Eddie Wu announced Baba will increase its AI investment beyond, that $53 billion US dollar that they talked about in February. It's going to be way bigger than that. They didn't give a specific quantum, but they said it's going to be a lot more. As we know, the company is aiming to surpass human brain level intelligence with its models. Those are the words of the CEO. And in pursuing that endeavor, they've launched or unveiled their latest LLM called Qwen 3 Max, alongside multiple upgrades to its other AI product suites. CEO Wu emphasized Alibaba's cloud strength as a full stack service provider, really integrating the data centers as well as cloud computing. And guess what, man? I mean, they're really just putting their foot down on expansion here, not just in China and in their normal markets, but they're looking to get into Brazil. They're looking to get into France and the Netherlands. So South America, Europe, they're already in Mexico, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, and Dubai. And in those jurisdictions where they already are at, they're looking to expand their data centers there. So you got to like this from a sort of an AI tailwind perspective. Joey, we often talk about, is the AI CapEx slowing down? And every time I feel, this is just a personal feeling, that we kind of start hinting at that, some next hyperscaler comes in and announces, I don't know, $500 billion here, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
The CapEx keeps
Still
on
heavy.
showing up. And it's not just North American companies now, Joey, more specifically American companies. The Chinese are starting to scale up their AI spend as well.
Rightfully so, right? And I think this is the pinnacle of the race. You see the American companies doing it. Now you have China doing it as well too, just broadening their horizon. I think it's something phenomenal to watch, considering it's a fundamental change that we're experiencing, and it's really cool that we get to participate in it. And the thing is, though, I feel like things are going to cool down, but I believe that they're going to come in waves, right? So we have the initial wave, we have this CapEx spending, then things are starting to cool down. But then you're going to have something new and bigger come out with all these AI and super intelligence. And guess what? Everybody's going to want to try to play catch up once again, and they're going to want to try to become the best LM or whatever that next big thing is. And then you're going to have an additional wave coming in. So with these massive fundamental changes, Baba spending the cash, the hyperscaler spending the cash, I think this can run the market for quite some time, in my opinion.
It feels like it, man.
Right.
It doesn't feel like the CapEx is drying up. And I got to say one other thing.
Yeah.
Joey, it feels like the lifetime cycle for these GPUs is quite short in the way that we didn't necessarily see with fiber optics.
Yeah.
If you want to draw comparisons to the dot-com bubble, you lay the fiber ops and they're there for, I don't know, you tell me, my man. Like forever,
they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. But the GPUs, it's almost like every year, NVIDIA's doing an Apple-style unveiling of its latest processor.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you got to think that, maybe the initial AI spend is going to be a little bit higher because you got to build out the infrastructure to house all these GPUs. But in terms of upgrading constantly, we're not really going to get a $1 trillion year, then a zero the next year. It's just not going to be like that.
That's not going to be exactly. That's not going to be the case whatsoever. And just to add to your point, there's always going to be something bigger and better coming out. So people are going to want to get involved in that. And I use the reference in the Bitcoin mining rigs. They're only getting stronger and better. And you have to consistently update your systems. And I think that's going to be the case here in some of the GPUs. Now, to your point, Sharif, I like what you were saying yesterday and a couple of days before, is that you don't like this cycle that NVDA is in, essentially. What they're doing is they're just kind of creating their own demand, which is kind of funny. But again, if the cash is there and if some of these companies are willing to spend it, why not?
Yeah, well, I mean, I dropped a TikTok video yesterday saying that Altman's got a new sugar daddy, baby, and his name is Jensen Huang.
But one thing that I like, that Altman's doing is that he's building his own infrastructure, so he doesn't have to rely on the likes of, because we know how their relationship with Microsoft is going, and et cetera. So yeah, not too bad of a look. That's the cloud spends there. They're gonna have to store this data. So watch out for these cloud companies as well too. I think they got some ways to run as well.
All right, Adara, let's get your take on this Baba investment. Adara, they were talking about $53 billion back in February. They didn't give a quantum, not one that I saw anyway, Adara, but they're gonna spend more than that. What's your take?
They didn't They didn't give an amount, which is always kind of interesting. But I think, Sharif, I don't want to get too in. There's another story here that I'm going to accidentally kind of sidestep into a bit here. But we talk a lot about this CapEx and this spending, right? Micron even with some pretty strong CapEx for Q1. So I think to answer the question of whether or not data spend or just investment and CapEx and spend in AI is continuing, I think if anything, it's accelerating. I've talked a lot about how NVIDIA in particular, this was not like a giant by any means in the M&A space or in the making giant investment space. And now NVIDIA is really stepping into that role, right? So now I wonder, are we kind of going to a new era of these investments and drastically exceed what we're seeing with the first wave? Because we thought the first wave was big, but the first wave wasn't NVIDIA dropping Bitcoin with Intel, NVIDIA dropping Bitcoin with OpenAI, NVIDIA dropping Bitcoin with that, and CoreWeave. So they're just like, CoreWeave too, right? They're just like spreading the money around. So Jensen, I trust Jensen. Jensen's judgment, as of right now, seemed to be pretty solid. So if he thinks now's the time to keep spending, I suspect some of that CapEx guidance could be pretty lofty heading to the next round of earnings, including Alibaba's, because you're right, the fact they didn't give it an amount specifically, a little interesting.
Yeah, and to be quite fair, Adara, we've talked about the circularity, the possible circularity of NVIDIA's GPUs, but guess what, Adara? They're using every single one of those GPUs, and you've got Altman complaining to no end that he can't get his hands on enough, and he was making the reference one time when they included the image generation in the chat that we were melting his GPUs.
I know, he was not happy with that.
No,
he was like,
and Adara, we use the AI all the time.
Yeah.
ChatGPT 5 is freaking slow. To me, that just means he doesn't have the compute that he needs to keep it up to speed, you know, with the Geminis and whatever that are not as heavily taxed. So the demand is there. I mean, do you see it a little bit differently than that?
No, I think the demand's there for sure. I think that's pretty obvious. I think the one thing too, though, and I mean, now we're kind of having a different conversation, but I think the issue too is the demand is just for so many different products, right? How do you spread the demand? I think obviously everyone's getting a little piece of the pie, but I don't think it's the way it used to be a couple of years ago where OpenAI was the be-all end-all. That's not the case anymore. So I think it's a good look for the sector, but we'll have to wait and see if any specific names benefit from it. Now, going back to China, I think Qwen 3 has been super well received, so it looks like Alibaba at the very least will continue to benefit.
I agree. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, no, if you have a point, because I just want to tell you a story of something that happened with me with GPT yesterday.
Let's hear it, man.
So I'm out for I'm walking Milo yesterday, right? And I'm talking to GPT, asking it questions. And anyways, I'm talking to it, and when you speak to it and you say something, it pauses. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So what happened was I'm talking to it, and Milo's off the leash, and I didn't say his name or anything, but I kept telling him, hey, come here. And then ChatGPT, after about the 6th time I told it to continue, says, oh, sounds like you have your puppy on your hands. Yeah, sounds like you have your puppy on your hands. Do you want to go over this later? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
bro?
that is insane. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe it. I didn't say anything about the dog. All I said was, hey, come here.
Yeah,
and then it's just like, hey, it sounds like you have your puppy on your hands. And I'm like, how did you know? And then it brought it up, and it's like, well, yeah, a couple weeks ago, you were asking me questions about the dog.
A couple of weeks ago.
So I'm like, I figured days ago, whatever it was.
You know what I mean by that?
Exactly, right? And it's like, and it's like, yeah. So I figured that's what you were talking to. But I'm like, hey, just because I was just like, hey, come here. How did you know I was referring to an animal? Which was absolutely insane.
Well,
I couldn't believe it.
Milo, I guess because I'm assuming you got the name from the mask. Milo?
No, it's Celine just like, yeah, it's a different.
All right, let's pause the news for a second.
Yeah.
Adara's got breaking news.
Oh, man.
Speaking of AI, massive spike here in Marvell, MRVL. I don't have a headline for this yet, but I did check. They do have a fireside chat happening right now. It started at 1 p.m. with JP Morgan. This must have been added pretty late to the calendar because I make the daily calendars and I didn't see this there. But regardless, MRVL, about 10 minutes ago, starting this fireside chat with JP Morgan. If I get any news from said chat, I will let you know. But I guess whatever they're hearing, they're liking. Back to you.
Katina man's getting amped up over here, bro. He's been long.
Everybody in the chat's like, wow,
like 60.
Everybody in the chat's like, wow, that's crazy. I couldn't believe that it actually did that.
You know, Marvell's still down 26% on the year, so we've got a lot more room to go up anyway. Let's go on, guys. TNFA moving past 8, says Bovin. I'm looking right at it, Bovin. But sadly, we won't be able to trade TNFA as we're doing the news. But let's talk about Lithium Americas because it's still doing the dance here with $6. I'm keeping my eye on it. So if you're wondering why this non-small cap gapper is up 96%, here's why. LAC, Lithium Americas, is in active talks. Yes, with the U.S. Department of Energy and General Motors about accessing the first draw of its $2.25 billion federal loan. It's a bit more, 2.26 to be exact. Discussions involve the conditions precedent to accessing the loan, so things that they have to do ahead of getting the money, with the Department of Energy actually requesting additional stipulations be included before the funds are released. I don't have the details on those stipulations. If you guys know what they are, tag myself or Joe. But a lot of LAC, or the possible success for LAC, has to do with one location. It's called Thacker Pass. The loan proceeds will support the Thacker Pass project in Humboldt County, Nevada. It's known as one of the world's largest known lithium resources, and the project is managed by joint venture, 62% by Lithium America, 38% by your friends at General Motors. Phase 1 of the project targets an output of about 40,000 tons per year of battery grade, guys, not just, raw material lithium carbonate. Thacker Pass construction is expected to generate about 2,000 jobs, and it is a cornerstone of the U.S. domestic EV supply chain. We've seen this, Joey, where the government maybe takes an interest, like an ownership interest or loans in this case, in companies, domestic companies, to rely less on the Chinese, who lead the world in both extraction and refinement of these rare earth elements, metals, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing to note here, sorry, I'm focused on this thing, but as for the lithium, the deal needs to be made. There we go, a nice pop there in Amazon. I think these metals are going to be a big part of the trade talks. Obviously, we know we have the TikTok deal, blah, 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 but then there's some things that have a little bit more weight to it, and I think that some of these precious metals are going to be extremely, extremely important. Sharif, I'm going to send it off here. I got to manage what we got going on here to Adara.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, Adara, let us know what you got going on.
What do you think about this, Adara? I mean, this Thacker Pass project seems like it's big potatoes here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I think with this, unlike the Intel deal, there's a clear, I guess, rationale behind it, right? There's already this thing that needs to be renegotiated, the government getting involved in LAC. But I forgot as well that they got a little bit of involvement in MP, not to the extent of the Intel or the LAC involvement. But this is now the third name in which the U.S. government has gotten involved. So I wonder what's next. I think that's honestly the most conceivable thing, right? Because regardless of the ethics of this or how this is viewed, or, you know, if the government is getting involved in private companies, or I guess public, but you know what I mean? Government's getting involved in business dealings. So, like, beyond the ethics of that, they're doing it. We're not going to debate if they're doing it or not, because they are doing it. So now I think the next question to ask, and maybe for us to look through, is what type of other deals are potentially on watch or on the table where it makes sense for the government to step in? We know Intel's been struggling for a while. They were once viewed as the great American chip giant, and then Pat Gelsinger did his thing. But, you know what I mean? So that's very much an American recovery story. Lithium Americas had a deal that they were trying to sort out. U.S. is like, hey, I'll help you. That one's not, again, this is not yet confirmed, the Lithium Americas, but either way, very likely. So I think now, at least the way my mind works, is I want to find out what's next. I want to figure out if there's any other potential deals where the government could step in, and then, you know, just keep an eye on those companies. Be ready for that possible announcement. We've already heard reports they want to get more involved in other critical minerals plays. That might be the sector I'd look to.
Well, one time to keep your listening ears out there, Adara, is around breakup time, because your other friend, Mark Carney, is going to be announcing more nation-building projects, the second tranche of nation-building projects. And Adara, he is talking about, well, Doug Ford actually hinted at this, a premier of this province, that the Ring of Fire will be mentioned next time. And we know that that's obviously around Sudbury, and we have tons of critical minerals, elements, and magnets out there. So I think that will be the next one, and we'll all be paying attention. Shout out to Canada. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. As for the Ring of Fire, Sharif, there's been a lot of talks of it in Ontario, the creation of around 70,000 jobs, adding billions and billions of dollars to the economy. I think that's something that most definitely, considering our unemployment rate is significantly higher than what it is in the States, and a much less population, about 10% of you guys. But yeah, we need to start tapping in. We need to take advantage of some of our natural resources. I know it's going to piss a lot of people off, but I think at some point you have to start putting food on the table and thinking about the high levels of unemployment. It's not good whatsoever. So yeah, I like it. 70,000 jobs, $1 billion on top of GDP. So we'll take it all day.
All right, baby. Oh, fire. Let's go. You like that one, Scott H, eh?
There we go.
I don't know why they call it the Ring of Fire, Scott, but scientists think it was an asteroid that landed there. Enemy. Anyway, let's go on. Micron reported earnings yesterday, and I mean, by all accounts, it was good, but it feels like it was a sell the news event, because Micron was up 100% yesterday, and today it's down 4.25%. So, I mean, they did everything right. Let's talk about what they did. They delivered EPS of 303, beating the consensus estimate of 286, a beat on the bottom line on revenue of 11.32 billion, slightly above the 11.22 expected by the street. So a beat on the top and bottom line for the current quarter. Net income as well surging, and I really mean that, surging to 3.2 billion. Compare that to last year on the quarter when they took less than $1 billion home, $887 million in profit. This time they're taking almost 3 1/4, 3 1/5. Really highlighting the profitability gains here. Let's talk about their guide. Their Q1 fiscal revenue guide, $12.5 billion, significantly ahead of the 11.94 predicted by the street. Really kind of forecasting accelerating demand into the year end, driven by, you believe it or not, AI-related memory demand. This company sells high bandwidth memory to NVIDIA, who includes it in their AI servers, okay? Stock performance and AI tailwinds. Shares have nearly doubled in 2025. They, in fact, had as of yesterday because they were up about 100%. Based on obviously strong demand for high bandwidth memory, as I mentioned. They also supply, as I mentioned again, HBMs to NVIDIA. It's the only, underline that, only US-based memory manufacturer. And so, like Adair and I were just speaking about, there could be more interest from the government in Micron, especially if, we continue with the AI spend. So we'll have to, keep an eye out for that. Let's talk about their different units, because one did well, one did not. But the one that did well really picked up the tab. Cloud memory unit. That reported $4.54 billion in sales, more than tripling, guys, year over year. Largest and fastest growing division the company has. Their data center unit. This was a bit of a surprise to me, because when we say data centers, usually it's a euphemism for AI data centers, right? But that fell 22% year over year, down now to $1.57 billion in revenue, showing uneven demand trends across the segments despite overall strength of the company. Total revenue, Joey, 46% year over year increase on that top line. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's extremely impressive. That double-digit growth is extremely impressive. But yeah, the data center unit fell 22% year over year. Yeah. That's a little shocking. I don't know if it's alarming or anything like that, considering revenues up almost double of that. But I mean, when you go across the board and you see cloud growth in some of these big names in the double digits, and then you have Micron just falling around 22%, I'm not going to call it alarming, but it's a big for me personally. Yeah, exactly. So we'll pull up MU, and from a technical standpoint, this thing has been on a monstrous run, right? As Sharif mentioned multiple times. From those April lows, you have 173% from the trough to that peak, and then now you're pulling back a little bit. But I would wait, because if you're 46% year over year revenue growth, I think that's not going to be cool. Keep an eye out for that guidance, because if they're guiding, how was the guidance on that one?
It was fantastic, Joey.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean.
So when they forward guide like that and it's relatively strong, wait for those pullbacks and look to get involved in this name, because when you go 173% off of those lows, you're outpacing the market and you increase your forward guidance. I think there's going to be some more room for this name to climb. And if that data center number gets anywhere better, then watch out for the stock to continue.
Absolutely, then you'll have both major segments doing well. Adara, it was up about 100% year to date yesterday. I personally don't see too much wrong with the report. Was it just sort of sell the news sort of event?
I mean, I will say, of all of the segments to have a revenue decline, you probably don't want it to be data center. That's maybe my opinion.
That's fair.
Let's be real.
That's fair.
But overall revenue was up year over year. And as you guys can see, I posted this on X at TTV Research. This, to be fair, the revenue estimate the street went with is a bit higher than the one I have here. Sometimes there's different estimates. But either way, they posted a nice beat, and they raised their guidance heading into the report. I think the thing with Micron is they just had expectations so high, and they performed so well last quarter as well, as you can see in the corner of there, that it was going to be really tough to really wow the market. I was very impressed with their guidance being so strong, and I wasn't sure that they beat to the extent that they did, just given the fact that they raised guidance ahead of the report anyway. So I feel like they did a solid job. Sometimes the street feels differently. The street has different opinions. And I think as well, with Oracle's massive, ridiculous guidance that I'm not going to get into again, I feel like they maybe set a bar for forward guidance that I think it's going to be really hard for any company to meet, including Oracle, because I did the research on that, and I'm not really sure how that's going to work. But either way, yeah.
No, that's a great point. But we've seen this story before, Adara. We've seen the cyclicality of the demand for HBM. Remember when there was a glut of inventory, there's just too much DDR5 or whatever they're using, high bandwidth memory. All of a sudden, Adara, there's no more glut. And it's like we can't get our hands on it.
They're glutless, all of a sudden, yeah.
They're glutless. I like that. Thank you for that, Adair. All right, shout out to my man Alex there, super chatting for the second time about the same stock, might I add, ABAT, and he reads as follows: ABAT, which is American Battery Technology, ticker ABAT, mines as well as recycles battery materials and is backed by the government. There is the, excuse me. That is the daily chart there on ABAT. Doesn't look good when you're looking at COVID highs, but when you're looking locally, it does look like it's really kind of putting in those higher lows, as well as now as higher highs, taking out $4, now taking out $5 on the day 507 high, up 9.5% ABAT. Thank you, Alex, again, for pointing that out and for the super chat. Let's go on to the next story, Joey, unless you have anything to say. You're good to go?
Yeah, let's rock and roll here, yeah.
Oracle. So we're going to talk basically about Oracle and OpenAI here because they're in a partnership to expand their data center footprint all over with SoftBank, of course, as a partner. So Oracle, OpenAI, and SoftBank are opening 5 new data centers across the U.S. under the government-backed Stargate initiative, which aims to build out 10 gigawatts of AI capacity nationwide. The initiative will involve over $400 billion in investments across 3 years. So 5 data centers, 10 gigawatts, 3 years. The first new center is going to be in Abilene, Texas, with others planned in Shacklesford County, Texas, Donnan County, New Mexico, Lordstown, Ohio, and Milam County, Texas. A lot of Texas there. I guess they need the land, right? And maybe energy costs as well. I'm assuming Texas is probably a little bit cheaper for energy. Maybe I'm wrong.
Everything's bigger over there.
Oh, too, everything's bigger, baby. Oracle and OpenAI. Joey said the Abilene site alone could deliver about 5.5, maybe more, gigawatts of capacity, creating about 25,000 on-site jobs. Oof. The first Abilene build is expected to be completed next year in 26, with further expansions planned to take it up more than 600 megawatts. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure will host the new data centers, strengthening Oracle's position against the hyperscalers like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. SoftBank-backed data centers are expected to begin scaling next year, expanding their capacity even further. Joey, this is not something we didn't know about. We know about Stargate. We saw Altman. We saw Ellison. We saw Masayoshi Son with the OG Donald,
yep.
in the Oval Office.
Yep.
But now we're getting the actual things manifesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked about this before as well too, Sharif, is that the fact that the amount of money that these companies are spending is going to actually have an impact on GDP, about 50 bips, which is absolutely insane in my opinion. But yeah, nothing's cooling down, expanding data centers. We know that they have their deal with Google as well too for all that overflow. So that's a pretty good look with Oracle. And then for me, I find it extremely interesting that a private company like OpenAI is getting their foot in the door with all of these public companies. So what does that tell me? Are they going to look to go public at some point?
It's got to be.
And we already know the valuations on this thing. And I think that this would just be something that came in oversubscribed and just goes through the roof and parabolic and just goes completely madness and pissing Elon off because of the case, because that's exactly what will happen. Yeah, he'll be so mad at the end of the day. But I like this. We've seen in the OpenAI, they're buying chips from NVDA, looking to build their own infrastructure. They're now working with Oracle as well too. So a lot of big things Sam Altman's doing.
Yeah, Sam's been busy.
He's got the cash. He's got the cash now.
Yeah,
he's got the cash. So
he's got the cash.
Adira,
he's got this project, and a couple of days ago, we heard, a lesser-known individual by the name of Jensen Huang.
I don't know if I've heard of him.
Neither do I. I just read about him a couple of times. He's throwing $100 billion, Adira, 10 tranches of $10 billion, each tied to 1 megawatt. You add a gigawatt. You add a gigawatt, you get 10 billion. You add another one, you get another 10 billion. He's got cash flowing out everywhere, Adira.
Like, this is so much money. I do not want to hear Sam complain about his melting GPUs anymore, I swear. But no, with regards to, I just kind of looked into more of the logistics of this. I was curious why Texas, as you mentioned, there's quite a lot of Texas, right? So I Googled this, and apparently the reason that Texas has been viewed as such a hub for these AI data centers is because they've got a lot of land, they have very business-friendly, regulations, and they also have a competitive energy market. So Texas being the hub of all of this, I think is certainly something to watch. And I would watch VST as well, Vistra. They are a utilities play. We know a lot of these utilities names in general are going to benefit from AI, but this was the one that had a really big rally the day that we initially had the Stargate project announced. So keep in mind, you can view these not just as purely trading Oracle or Microsoft. You can also view what type of energy is going to benefit, what type of areas or regions are going to benefit as well. So I think just being be, I guess, aware of what's popping up in Texas and maybe keeping an eye on VST as maybe a sympathy play for this.
That's actually quite a good idea, Derek. Good call on that. Thank you for that. Let's go on to the next story. Wells Fargo upgrading Amazon on stronger AI cloud demand. Look, there's one Mag 7 name that's positive today, and it's Tesla. It's up 3 1/5. Ooh. But if there's one that may be able to go green, it's Amazon, who's down 0.01%. Oh. So it's on that borderline. Let's talk about why Wells Fargo did what they did. Wells Fargo in general raised their outlook on cloud, and as a result, they're raising their outlook on AWS. So let's talk about what they did, what they said about the industry as a whole. They raised the industry cloud revenue forecast, now projecting the market to grow to $873 billion by 2029. That's up from the $230 billion the industry spent the entire year of 2024. Okay, this implies a 31% CAGR compounding annual growth rate. That's big. Analysts noted the overall cloud expansion creates an upside for all major providers, including AWS. Now, let's talk about the AWS specific part upgrade here of the note. They upgraded to overweight. I don't know what they had it before that, but they boosted the price target from 245 to 280, saying AWS's market share losses are expected to peak this year in 2025 before stabilizing with new projects like Project Rainer, a data center campus in Indiana built specifically for Anthropic, which we know has a connection with AWS. Phase 1 of Rainer will launch next January 2026, potentially adding about $14 billion in annual AWS revenue once fully ramped. Didn't say when it's going to be fully ramped. Wells Fargo also raised their 2026 AWS revenue growth estimate, Joey, from 18%. Now they're looking at 22% year-over-year growth. So this is a very, very good look here for AWS. We're going to pause for a second, Joey, because Adara's got breaking news.
Oracle on watch. I know we just yapped about Oracle, but we have to do some more yapping, guys, because the other catalyst with Oracle that's been ongoing is the TikTok deal. We have a Semaphore reporter here on X by the name of Shelby Talcott. She just posted that sources are telling her Trump could be signing the TikTok deal tomorrow. So a Semaphore reporter on X saying this TikTok deal could be signed by U.S. President Donald Trump tomorrow. If I get any more details on that, I will let you know. It's just a simple X post for now. Back to you.
Okay, Sharif, sorry, we gotta, I know we're talking a lot of cloud here. 2 seconds on the trades. That's MU right there. Yeah, that's MU. We're gonna take a little bit more off.
There, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in scalp mode here. I told you it's just been a grind. But then let's get back into the name that we're talking about. So I took some off there, sitting with about 30%. This was the second scalp that I was like, you know what? When we're talking about lithium, I gotta focus on this.
Read the caption.
Big time missed opportunity. 220 right there, and then you're just climbing higher. So it's kind of been the narrative of the day for me. But yeah, we'll take it on the scalps, and we won't complain whatsoever.
You see about this? Aiden Ross and Jake Paul made a $2 million bet against Tank at the press conference yesterday in front of Tank. They're just dunking on this guy. $2 million. Why is Aiden Ross getting involved, man? Anyway.
What do you mean? He's that guy. Aiden Ross.
That guy.
No, I mean not in that way. I'm not the biggest fan of Aiden Ross. Yeah, what do you mean? Do you see the amount of money?
I saw what he did. The fight there. He changed his bet last minute because he got a call.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously he's inside now. He's actually a ridiculous amount of cash. Back to MU. It's looking pretty good. No worries. We caught another fill on that one there, starting to pump a little bit higher. But no, as for Amazon, listen, we talked about this for some time. E-commerce is great. Yeah, we love it. Still slightly affected by the tariffs. But AWS, I think, is going to be the big-time grower in what we see with Amazon. And cloud spend, AI spend, whatever it may be, it's going to fall into some of these hyperscalers' names. And it being one of the largest of the cloud providers, it's going to benefit the most from this. And that's why we really, really like Amazon. Not because of the e-commerce, because of AWS.
My man.
Yeah.
Adara, there's two parts to this report by Wells Fargo. There's the upgrading of the cloud business in general. Adara, they're saying it's going to be about an $803 billion industry by 2039. And there's also the AWS. Take whichever angle you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll take, I guess AWS is certainly something to be aware of. I think that the fact, too, that AWS former CEO is run by the current CEO of the company, Andy Jassy. It makes sense. Like, we've had really consistent growth with this. I meant to pull up a infographic that I've done previously on AWS revenue growth. Don't have it up right now, but you can find that way back on X at TTP Research. The point is, their growth has been strong and it's been consistent on a year-over-year basis. So it makes sense that we're going to hopefully see this continue. When I say like growth, I don't mean, a little bit higher. It's been a steady uptrend. If you were trading, you'd probably want to go long AWS's annual revenue growth. So I think that's a good look. I think the fact that they're seeing potential addition of $14 billion in annual AWS revenue. I always sometimes doubt projections like this, but if you've done the math, if it's solid, and if we see, I think, some evidence of that reflected in Amazon's report or guidance, then I think it's a great forward look here for AMZN. And the stock obviously has not had a great day despite this report, but right now bouncing. Yeah,
it's like green finally. It went like up a fifth. We were talking about this one possibly going green on the day. All right, let's go to Tesla next. This one is the greenest of the Mag 7 names, and it's been, I would say, the most robust as of late, up 3 1/3 today. And this note caught my attention here. So interesting take by who wrote Deutsche Bank. It was Deutsche Bank who dropped this note. So here's what Deutsche says. They think Tesla is going to lead the Chinese EV market in September. Well, it's leading in deliveries with 72,000 deliveries. So let's go on. So they're expected to deliver about 72,000 vehicles in China this month, topping the EV market and marking a 27% increase from their deliveries in August. Deliveries are flat year over year, but they're supported by strong demand for the 6-seater long wheelbase Model Y SUV, which also has a longer range. Now, we don't have this Model Y in North America. It's a 3-row, 6-seater. They like those bigger SUVs in China, and therefore Tesla adjusted it to meet the demand there. The current order flow is actually pegged at about 73,000 units, with new customers' deliveries now being pushed to November. That's giving you an indication of the demand for this car. In the first 3 weeks of September, Tesla did report about 47,000-ish insurance registrations. And I can kind of go through some of their competitors. NIO, 35,000 deliveries, up 12%. Xiaomi expecting about 42,000 with their SU27 and their new SUV as well. XPeng got about 40,000. Li Auto, that hard garbage, has got 35,000. And then BYD, always the king of them all, 380,000. That's for everything. That's just not BEVs, okay? That's everything. 308,000 deliveries, and about 320,000 of those 380 are domestic, so about 60,000 went internationally. Deutsche Bank said September is shaping up as the peak sales season for Chinese EVs. I don't really know why, but that's what they're noticing there. Joey, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm curious to when the next delivery report is. I heard Adara talking about it this morning.
I have heard October 2nd. Thursday, October 2nd is usually
Thursday, October 2nd?
a day or two
All right.
after the month begins.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's going to be really big. Thanks for that, Adara. So, I mean, leading the Chinese EV market in September, that's a really interesting take. We obviously got to wait for the numbers to come out. But I'm curious, Katina man, yes, China. Yes, China there, Katina man. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, there it is, right? Like, you obviously have the subsidies. I think they're still in full effect over there. So that's why you're seeing a boom in a little bit of the tech to EV sales as well, too. iPhone sales are getting a little bit of a boost in China as well. But I don't think, until I see the numbers for myself, I don't see Tesla outpacing the actual like BYDs, the Xiaomis, whatever it may be. Until I see those. Sharif did bring up a good point. They have the Shanghai plan. It gives a lot of jobs, etc. But I just don't see them beating them on their home ice, essentially, until I see those numbers. I'm not going to say that it can't happen. I want to see it first.
All right, guys. I was going to mention something over here. Totally forgot. Let me know when we're ready to go with that, Assassino. Yeah, all right. New traders, listen up, baby. The first month, it is absolutely free. That's right. We're waiving all the fees. So you can trade smarter, not harder, by upgrading to that elite experience where you'll analyze, strategize, and hopefully after you're done doing that, you'll capitalize on their platform that has everything. We're talking about infinite data. We're talking about instant trading, lightning fast market insights, and game-changing charts. and you can predict better with their backtesting tool. You get reliable real-time data, global markets at the fingertips, all in one platform, Joey. Do not miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? If you are, scan that QR code or check the link in the description.
I'm really rich.
Ooh.
Shout out to Don. All right, Adara. Tesla leading the way with deliveries, at least for the months of September, for pure BEVs. Do you think this continues, or is just kind of an outlying month because of that new Model Y they got out there?
I wonder if it's seasonal, because I think, as you mentioned, we heard so much about the Model Y thing heading into it, right? And then the fact that now we're getting these numbers all of a sudden out of nowhere, it could be seasonal. I think, you know, we know there's been a lot of really good products coming out of other Chinese EVs as well.
100%.
XPeng's been on a bit of a hot streak. So I think it's worth noting, this might just be Tesla's time to shine, but that doesn't mean there's not still going to face competition. Now, I have this up. You can find this on X at TTV Research. Like, this had positive analyst notes from Milius and UBS yesterday as well. Then on Friday, we had a Baird upgrade. So it is worth noting, like, this stock has been on watch with analysts as well. Beyond the fact that we've got these numbers, we have analysts saying not only do you like the stock, we think their deliveries are going to smash. So I always think it's worth noting, like, hey, what is the temperature of the market right now? Obviously, there are sales. There are people looking for this forward. But we've been disappointed by Tesla before when it comes to delivery. So my take on this is wait to see if the deliveries confirm what everybody's expecting. That being said, with so much expectation on this, I suspect they could be solid, but I also want to see what the other Chinese EVs have to bring.
Adara, I want to say one thing, though. Until we saw this story today about the Chinese deliveries coming in ahead of expected, not much had changed in the Tesla world. We didn't get any new products. We didn't see any great new numbers in North America. I'm, again, removing this China story for a second. Yet, all these analyst agencies were coming out with upgrades, Adara, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I didn't feel there was really a foundation for it. So are all these upgrades because of the insider buying? What are your thoughts?
I was just going to say, I think that's a part of it, but I want to say as well, and I've been very critical of Elon and making promises that he can't and does not keep. But all that aside, I think from the point of view of analysts and from my own point of view as well, Elon Musk is a lot more motivated to, I guess, keep these promises when A, he's in the stock for a cool Billy, additional to whatever else he has, and B, he's going to be making a heck of a lot of money should all of the aspects of the tranche follow through with the payment plan, right? So furthermore, Tesla shareholders, I believe, are motivated to vote for that plan because they want to see Elon stay invested. They want to keep daddy home. Use wording that unfortunately Elon himself used, right? So I think all of this is really important. I think regardless of the fact they upgraded just for insider buying, I think it's more of the message and the context of the insider buying and just the really feverish fan base of Tesla shareholders. You guys know I spend arguably too much time on there, so I'm very aware of what the temperature is. They are all in the stock. I mean, they like Teslas, they own Teslas, whatever. They care about Elon, though, specifically. So if Elon's saying, hey, guys, I'm committed to you, 100% they're going to double down on Elon, so I think that's a good look.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you, Derek. Go ahead, Joey.
What if deliveries come in lower than expected? What if they continue to lose market share in Europe, right?
The hard Tesla bulls are not going to care. They do not care. They'll be like, it's a setback. It's not a car company. And they'll just keep pushing higher. So I think regardless of the deliveries, I think with the context of this, with Elon's buy, I think the bull case is probably still there.
I agree with you when you're talking about the Tesla bulls, but the rating agencies may shift a little bit.
I just mean more like the larger group behind the company.
That's fair. Thanks, Derek.
No, that's fair. I'm not. I can't really say anything against that. It's fantastic that they're all buying it because of Elon, but I'm not going to put the numbers aside because they still don't display themselves. They're losing market share left, right, and center to BYDs, to the Li Autos, and everything in Europe. And even deliveries in California and in the United States are starting to cool off as well, too. It's forward-looking for me personally. At some point, I'm just going to put all these models away, and it's just autonomy, FSD, and robotics.
That's really what it's going to come down to, because you're not going to convince me you're going to be a $5 trillion company or an $8 trillion company selling EVs at 18-19% gross margins.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's literally
and there's
impossible.
not even that many buyers to have that. You still,
it's like people renewing a vehicle every year. That's not going to. It's not going to happen.
You're just not making enough money per car. It's got to be a higher margin product, 60, 70, 80% gross margins.
Absolutely.
That's what I think is needed. I see your point there, Lush. Tesla is more than a car company. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Joseph and I are saying that, but we're talking about the tangible numbers right now, the numbers that we can discern and we can say above expectations, below. Those are obviously the car companies, right? The car deliveries.
And,
right?
and one more thing here that Glenn says, Joe, when you're the leader from day one, there is nowhere to go but down in market share. You're absolutely right. You're not wrong on that. And it's in the case of what was going on with BYD in Europe. You see that triple-digit growth because they're new. They're just starting to enter the market, and obviously they're going to lose share. But if people really start to grab onto things, we know fads come in and out. People change their mind, like they change their underwear at times, and that can happen within this car space. They need to come out with new models, and they need to really emphasize the facts on robotics and full autonomy. That's my opinion. That's where we stand on it. We're not calling it just the car company. We know they have the energy storage, and we know what's down the pipeline, but we're looking at it in the now.
Should mention that the EV tax credit in the United States ends this month. I think it's the 30th of September. I'm pretty sure. I think it's the last day.
Yeah.
So there could be some pull forward, obviously, as people look to take advantage of that $7,500. That's not chump change. So we'll see if the numbers come in a little bit higher next.
Okay.
Go ahead, Joey.
Bing, there we go.
Hold on. I was asked to do this. I was asked to do this.
For who?
By your boy Dangerous in the chat. He wants me to hit the dollar club for you, bro.
For me. All right, man.
The
There we
fans
go. Yeah, we
supporting,
got all
bro.
out of that one. I mean, hey, we fumbled a couple bags on the likes of Amazon and some other names as well, too. Bitcoin putting in a new high of the day. But I'm glad that we executed here on MU. I just seen that holding, 5-minute candle. We'll get right back into the news. This is what I'm like, hold this level, and then we're off to the races. We just went in full size right at that low there. Bang, hammer candle right off of that low, and then you get that nice little pops right away. Overcook, undercook. Right.
This is a partnership that I saw in the making. It made sense to me. Palantir partners with Boeing Defense for AI-powered military data analytics. It's not just for military, it's actually for Boeing to use internally, so let's talk about it. So Boeing Defense Systems, the section of Boeing obviously dealing with the military, will integrate Palantir's AIP platform to standardize data analytics across the production lines, as well as support classified military projects. Oh, baby. Skunk Works. I know it's not Boeing, but that's what I think when I hear classified military projects. Skunk Works. Shout out to Kelly Johnson. All the airplane buffs will know what I'm talking about in the chat. Palantir's AI will help optimize workflows for sensitive missions involving military aircraft, helicopters, satellites, spacecraft, missiles, and weapons. Palantir's head of defense, Mike Gallagher, stated the partnership will accelerate product innovation, and he stressed the urgency in doing so because of the geopolitical landscape. The deal also strengthens Boeing's position as it seeks new contracts from countries like we talked about yesterday, Kazakhstan, Turkey, and China. Obviously, Turkey, the only one of those three interested in the military wing of Boeing. It's not like you're going to see China buying a Boeing military aircraft. And the Bank of America as well reaffirmed a buy rating on Palantir, and they boosted the price target, Joey, to 215, citing strong AI-driven growth and international expansion. We saw them doing a deal with England the other day, right?
Palantir.
Yeah?
Yeah, and in the Japan deal.
Yeah, we're
as
doing
well,
Boeing
too.
Palantir, so comment whichever one.
Yeah, the Japan deal. The Japan deal as well, too.
There you go.
And we talked about this, right? When we went over their last earnings report, their global clientele was relatively subdued in a growth standpoint, around 3%. They have the England deal. They have the Japan deal. And now, again, obviously Boeing being in the United States, I like it, to be honest with you. But my issue with Boeing is that they're not producing enough planes to meet the demand, and we were talking about it yesterday as well too. They essentially run a monopoly. Adair brought us the FAA. Just I wouldn't say standing in their way, but they can't do what they've been doing, using zip ties, dishwasher fluid. That's insane. This is people's lives you're playing with at the end of the day. But I do like that they're going to start kind of interpreting Palantir into some of their business plans and everything along those lines. But Palantir, watch out for that international growth coming above what was probably expected. Last quarter, 3%. I'm going to suspect it's going to be significantly higher come this report.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Joey. I think we're going to get a bit of a surprise there. Dara, Palantir, Boeing, inevitable partnership?
Yeah, I think, honestly, what kills me, too, is this is a much better story, I think, for Boeing than it is for Palantir. And Palantir's stock, when we first got the news, it was around this candle here. As you can see, nice little spike. I mean, now it's obviously given back pretty much that whole move, but the stock reacted really positively. Boeing, when we got that news, did, wait, it was actually here. It actually had a red candle when we got that news. So it's a little bit tricky, right? I think this is ostensibly should be a better story for Boeing. Boeing needs that type of team up. And side note, shout out to Kelly Ortberg, go Kelly, for having with Alex Karp and Palantir. This is a great look for the company. I just don't think it's something the stock seems to care about right now, because I think right now with Boeing, the bigger story is getting those production numbers up. We want those monthly production numbers to be higher, and making sure that these, airlines across the world are getting involved. I think with the Uzbekistan deal and the Turkey deal we have coming up, I think that might be a little bit more interesting for Boeing stock right now than this defense deal on the side with Palantir. I think it's good long term. I think short term, not sure the market really cares.
Okay. All right. I was going to skip. Thank you, Adira. I appreciate that. I was talking to Joey there. I was going to skip the next story, but I don't think that that's warranted. We can't skip it. All right. Guys, DBGI is breaking out. DBGI. It's one that I was trading earlier today. It's at the day's high. It looks like it's going to flat top break. But D-Wave versus Ionic. So anybody who's been watching Quantum lately knows exactly what's going on. This is a secular breakout. It's been very strong as of late, kind of continuing with what we saw start late last fall, right around election time. So both D-Wave and Quantum, D-Wave Quantum, and ionq, is it ionq or Ionic? Have seen strong multi-bagger gains over the past year, reflecting. Say that again, Katina man? Yeah, is it ionq or Ionic? Yeah.
I mean, the Q's are emphasized. It's like in capitals.
Yeah,
I think,
It's a good point. Yeah. So they've seen multi-bagger gains, Joey, over the past year, reflecting growing investor interest, obviously, in quantum computing. Quantum computing is viewed as the next frontier in tech, offering exponential power compared to traditional computers. Though scalability and costs obviously remain hurdles, investors should note that while the growth potential is significant, valuations are quite lofty given the actual revenue coming in. So technology differences. So we're going to outline some of the differences between D-Wave and ionq. D-Wave uses quantum annealers designed for optimization tasks like logistics, scheduling, as well as machine learning. They're less expensive to operate, but limited in scope. That's D-Wave. ionq or Ionic builds full quantum systems using trapped ion technology that can handle universal computing tasks. It makes them more versatile, but significantly costlier to maintain, Joey. So that's the difference between them. This is their growth projections. D-Wave revenue expected to grow from 24.6 million in 25 to 71 million in 27. ionq, for their part, looking to grow from 91.3 million in revenue this year to 314 million in revenue by 27, both experiencing high double-digit growth. What's your look here, Joey? Take whatever you want, what angle you want, or you can show the picture of a great-looking quantum computer.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man. Again, when we're experiencing these fundamental shifts, and I don't know if this is necessarily going to happen. I mean, we got to wait and see. Are they at their full effect? I don't think so just yet, but it's an emerging market. You're seeing everything across the space, literally every single name. You can throw a dart at the quantum space within the stock market and then eventually find a winner at this point. It's looking pretty good. ionq, one of the stronger names, and then RGTI is really starting to gain some ground here as well. So, I mean, QUBT, and you can go through a QuantumScape a little bit weaker, but this stuff is really, really phenomenal. It's, for me, I'm looking at it as the shift into stable coins, into tokens, and whatever it may be. It's a fundamental shift. You're taking that next quantum leap into something extremely new, and I think that's why you have to start taking advantage of it. Am I going to be chasing the prices all the way up here? No, I'm going to be waiting for some pullbacks, and then I'm going to be looking to get involved in some of these names now, because I think at some point, you will have that aggressive sell-off strafe when they don't meet a specific expectation. And then you have these valuations that are just going through the roof right now. Like, look at this multi-day breakout, if we can get there.
Embarrassing. Is it doing what I think it's doing?
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
No, it's done. It's just frozen across the thing. But anyways, okay, so QUBT, not the best. But look at ionq, right? And we go through some of these names. And I was keeping an eye on them for these resistant. Look at these flat top breaks. This is insane, right? Like, you're up over 90%, 116% from August 20th. So a month, you've doubled your money this is big time moves, and I think it's going to continue, but just don't chase all the way up here. Wait for that negative catalyst to come in, because it will at some point, and then I think you're going to be able to get involved in these names.
Yeah, that's a thing. I'd like a retest of that $52 area for a pickup there. If it comes back in, that's money.
That's cash.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Right now, it's extremely strong.
Adira, take whatever angle you want to take here, because I mean this technology is super nascent. Are you a D-Wave fan or an ionq fan? And are you saying it ionq or ionic?
I've been saying ionq, but honestly, I mostly haven't been saying it, so I don't really know if I'm the person to talk to about that. I think with regards to stock, I'm actually going to go for a none of the above. I think Getty.
Okay.
At least in short term, a much better player. Like, look at this. Look at our GTI yesterday. 10% to the upside, and it didn't even have a catalyst. That was on QBTS's catalyst, right? I think also, if I'm just to zoom out, if you don't mind, Sharif, just talk about like all of the 4 key quantum names: Rigetti, ionq, QBTS, and QUBT. QUBT, I think, goes to the wayside here, and I say that because they just dropped an offering, and they have not had the same type of constant catalyst that we've seen with RGTI, ionq, and QBTS. Now, between the 3 of them, I am going to go for Rigetti, but I think like ionq seems to be having, I think, the most steady stream of breakthroughs in different aspects of quantum. From a fundamental standpoint, I will go ionq. From a technical standpoint, Rigetti all the way.
Thank you, Adira.
One last thing. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Owen Sailing Diary made a very valid point, and this is what I'm getting at. Watch out for their next report. Neo, Sean will say the same thing. These guys aren't making any money yet. They're operating at net losses. So wait for those reports to come out. You might get that initial selling, but if they have these continuous breakthroughs, that's why you're seeing these names just break out from a technical standpoint and just go absolutely insane. And I think that's going to continue to happen. They will turn a profit, hopefully, eventually. When, I don't know, Jensen Wang was saying that.
Get it, Jensen.
He was, how long is it out? 10 years out or something?
Well, he said
along
30.
Those 30 did he 30?
Remember that
and then
initial
did he
one?
reiterate that
and then
to 10?
Quantum tanked after that.
Yeah, okay.
And then he's spending up a storm now with his own quantum division.
And then there we go. We have the likes of Willow as well. Google getting involved with the quantum space as well. So just watch out. What is Google? Google's the ultimate ETF. You got quantum, you have autonomy, you have cloud,
I agree,
you have YouTube, you have social media. The social media. It's everything in one.
It is, and I like, again, I couldn't wrap my mind around why it had a cap on its price. I didn't factor in the antitrust in the way that I should have. That was an oversight by me. I sitting there, I couldn't understand. Anyway, let's go on to everybody's favorite here, Opendoor. Technology faces bearish sentiment after a shareholder sell-off. We'll talk about exactly who's selling and how much, but obviously let's talk about the retail sentiment on this. So retail trader sentiment for Opendoor turned bearish. At least it did on StockTwits on Wednesday, which is today. A sharper change from the prior day's neutral tone, so yesterday. The sentiment drop followed about a 15.5% decline in their shares on Tuesday, marking the worst session Open has had since the 6th of August. The message volume on StockTwits rose slightly, but indicating elevated trader attention, but the tone of those messages remained a little bit negative. Now, let's talk about who's selling and how much they're selling. So Access Industries, they are the 3rd largest shareholder of Opendoor after, of course, Vanguard and the new CEO, Kaz Najatian. Now, before I continue, I need to tell you that the new CEO has about 83 1/3 million shares. Almost all of those shares are what they're called restricted stock units, means he can't sell them. And he'll be prohibited from selling them until the price reaches certain levels. I did a video on this. The first level was 6 1/3. The next was 9. The next after that was 13, 17. It goes all the way up to $33. That's the last tranche of unlocking his final tranche of shares, okay? So right now, I don't know how many he has, but he doesn't have 83 1/3, full stop. Now, Access Industries, that's led by a billionaire named Len Blavatnik. And they sold about 11.4 million shares worth of Open, about $95.2 million, cutting its holding down about 31 1/3 million shares. And that came after they had already sold on September 12th, 10.9 million shares. So they sold 11.4 not that long ago. Previously, they sold 10.9. That was worth about $100 million, which pushed the shares, September 12th, nearly down 14%. As I mentioned, they are the third largest shareholder, Joey, after the CEO as well as Vanguard.
Yeah, as for Opendoor, I think a lot of us were expecting to see a big time pop after the 25 bips. It was relatively flat. But I'm going to say this. I think that this company is going to be a hot take. I think this company is going to be essentially irrelevant in the near future. Why?
Dang.
Smart contract. Yeah. That's my smart contract. What do you need them for if you have smart contracts?
Listings, Joey.
Yeah, the listing. That's fine. You can still find the listings somewhere else, right? Like this is a publicly traded company worth what is the market cap of this thing here right now?
5.99, $6 billion.
$6 billion. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of money in real estate. Does it have that meme effect? A lot of people are saying no, but for me personally, I think there's things that are going to slowly phase this name out. I don't think we talk about it in a couple of years.
Okay. Adara, do you feel that way? Is Opendoor here for a good time, not a long time?
I mean, I will say, if it's here for a long time, I will continue to enjoy the drama. I know not everyone enjoys when I get into the behind the scenes of these companies, but I think for a company that is so motivated by these, I guess, catalysts involving like tweets or posts, I do think it's worth getting into. Now, again, you can check out this giant master post on X at TTV Research. But we had some catalysts this week. Martin Shkreli left the short, ironically, a bit too soon because then the real drop began. But then we also have ongoing beef continuing with Keith Rabois, the co-founder, and Pio Keffer, who's on the company's board. It's a really odd beef. But basically, when we had that Access Industry sell, Keith Rabois went in X and he said, oh, it's definitely like, he implied that it was Pio Keffer. And he's like, I just bought shares. I'm not selling. This guy did not attack anybody, but he keeps getting attacked anyways. You can read all the details on X at TTV Research for the master post. It's up to date as of last Tuesday, so lots to look at there. But on the real, I bring up all of this to say that a company this, or a stock that is this motivated by random social media moves, maybe be cautious. However, Kaz Nejatian, I will give him credit. He has not been involved in any of this weird drama, though his entire board, for some reason, is, for the most part. But he's stayed really strong. He's just posting himself, at the office. He's working late.
Well, he can't go home, Adara.
Him late at night. Like, I think, honestly, I will give him credit. He is trying really hard, and I think the fact that he's treating it like a real company, maybe we should too. But with the stock, I'm just saying, be careful.
Yeah, shout out to his wife who won't let him come home until he comes out with a plan. Shout out to, good luck there.
If Opendoor trades up to 20, 30 bucks, whatever it may be, I'm totally wrong. But as Adair just mentioned, it's hot amongst the social media aspect. And we know with social media, you're hot one day, the next day you're essentially irrelevant. So what happens when Opendoor cools off and doesn't have that meme type aspect?
That's fine. I mean, I don't feel one way or another about this. I just want to get to Apple. Let me just see the exact name over here of this individual. Apple Manny, $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Apple Manny. QURE, please talk about news. Thank you. Yeah, we covered this one earlier. You must be joining us a little bit late. That's fine. QURE will show you exactly what the price action looks like on this monster. It's a little bit off the highs, but I had this one wrong. I was going to look at it as a range. It clearly broke out. Shout out to Zion Lala, took out 50, dropping below now. But you're wondering about the headline, so we're going to pull that up for you. What's going on with uniQure? Let's load up the article. So uniQure stock surged after announcing positive results from a phase 1 and phase 2 study for their AMT 130 for Huntington's disease. I don't know what that is, Joey. The therapy showed significant slowing of the disease progression and was well tolerated. uniQure plans to submit a BLA in Q1 2026 with potential U.S. launch later that year. The company also secured about $175 million loan facility with Hercules Capital, enhancing financial flexibility for the potential commercial launch. That is a quick summary of what the headline is. I hope that suffices. And again, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Joey, we had more to talk about. Bloom Energy getting downgraded by Jefferies. It's one that I've had on my radar for a while and is down substantially the last couple of days. So it's down 12 1/3 today. So very volatile name. BE is a taker. We're not going to go into that. But Yes, I just wanted to mention that super quick. You want to leave them with a thought?
Yeah, I mean, guys, just continue the grind. It was an interesting session. You sell off, you get a little bit of a recovery. And yeah, I mean, I've been trading around the highs, Ethereum as well too, but putting in a higher low. The RGTI quantum space extremely hot. MU was a pretty good trader for us on the day. Keep it green, man. We got a couple more days left in the week, and then hopefully by the end of the month, we can start to turn things around again, even though we're not down drastically. But I would like to see this market and the breadth start to expand once again and put in some new highs.
I agree with that. I agree with that a lot.
Especially in the crypto space. Let's put in a new high there.
That'd be great, yeah.
By
Peter Schiff's been dunking on everybody on Next. You should see him. Yeah, he's just living life right now.
Oh, yeah? He's having a good
he's
time.
talking about all the Bitcoiners going broke and all the gold hoarders are going to be, kings and stuff like that. He always does. Even when Bitcoin is outperforming gold, he still craps on Bitcoin.
Still craps on it.
Shout out to Peter
I mean,
Schiff.
it's significantly more volatile, obviously, right?
Well, clearly he's made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anybody who's been in gold has made plenty of money this year, so there's not much to say bad about what he's saying, but I just wish he wouldn't crap on Bitcoin so much. But yeah, it is what it is.
Adara, we need cornrow Drake next time, we need.
He wants cornrow Drake on the infographic, Adara.
Whatever Drake I found who was president. Like one of the other pictures, I think when he had the heart in his head for 2 minutes, you get hard head Drake for like half a second, I think, in one of the visuals. Honestly, I was like, which Drake works with what